giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. We are streaming live on YouTube, and of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still, boom! It is Friday, ladies and gentlemen. That means we got our guy Patrick No C Walker coming up in any minute now to give us or take us inside the star. A lot of key injuries happening right now for the Cowboys that we need to be updated on. Plus, we'll get his inputs on what to expect from those wide receivers, those young and the restless wide receivers. But for the meat and potatoes of today's show, I got three key battles, three key matchups to determine the outcome of this game. Big week 5 for the Cowboys, traveling to Pittsburgh, and we're going to start off this thing with the bang by bringing in our guy Patrick No C Walker of DallasCowboys.com. Let's do it, y'all. What's good with your brother Pat?
So, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, you know what we want to talk about, Pat. You know what we want to talk about. We got a big one. A rivalry renewed, per se, traveling up there to Pittsburgh. It always blows my mind that, you know, we don't go to Pittsburgh. They don't come here for 8 years. It's kind of crazy.
Right. Yeah, it is, especially when you consider the legacy between the two teams. I mean, these are two of the most storied franchises in the entire NFL. And when you look at the history of them, I mean, this goes back to the 60s and especially the 70s, the Terry Bradshaw Steelers versus the Roger Staubach and Danny White Cowboys, and then bring that forward to the 90s. And, you know, and then even as recently as 2016 with Zeke with the walk-off touchdown, I mean, every time the Steelers and the Cowboys play, not only is it a nail-biter, but there seems to be something big on the line. Obviously not as much this time as it was in the 90s and the 70s and things like that when Super Bowls were on the line, but still, it's always a fantastic must-watch TV situation.
Even the last two matchups, totally different matchups, right? Like you said, 2016, you had the rookie dynamos of Zeke and Dak in Pittsburgh getting the walk-off victory. What a crazy game. I went back and watched the highlights of that. I forgot just how up and down that game was emotional-wise.
Yeah.
And then the Garrett Gilbert game, right? The COVID year in 2020. OGG, we thought Garrett Gilbert had something. And didn't work out, but it was an interesting contest, man. That was a fun game, though.
Yeah, man, I remember Garrett Gilly, man. Garrett Gilly, the original Gilly suit in Dallas, man. So yeah, and here we are. It's crazy, like you said, that it only happens once, damn near, you know, every decade. But you would think the league would try to get these two teams lined up against each other more, but that's not how the algorithm goes as far as scheduling is concerned. So. All we can do is try to enjoy it when we get it, and we're about to get it this Sunday in prime time, no less. Prime
time. It's been a minute, I think, since the Cowboys played them in prime time. But, Pat, let's kind of turn the page to those who may or may not be out there, because what a weird week for Cowboys injuries, right? We dealt with the Cooks thing. We've been talking about it all week, his infection in his knee. Hope everything goes well with that. You can give us an update on that if you want. Plus, all the other things that are coming down the pike. And yesterday, Trevon Diggs ended up being on that injury report. So can you kind of just give us an overall view of what's happening there, and then a update on Diggs, because that was a big one?
Yeah, they're kind of snake bitten right now, to say the least. I mean, you know, obviously you lose Sam Williams in training camp, and that was on the heels of losing Dorrance Armstrong and Dante Fowler in free agency, and you're sitting there like, oh, man, what does this defensive end situation look like? But, hey, at least you got Micah and you got DeMarcus Lawrence, and good job spending the second-round pick on Marshawn Nealon, because it turns out you're going to need that sooner than later. And then now, you know, this past week, or this week, I should say, you lose Michael Parsons, or you're going to lose Michael Parsons against the Steelers. He's week to week. We'll see what he feels like against the Lions, and then the Cowboys got the bye week. I think it's more likely for him for San Francisco 49ers than Detroit Lions, but we'll see. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's been moved to IR, so he's down for a minimum of 4 games. So Marshawn Nealon's going to get that many more reps. But then what does it look like outside of him? Mike McCarthy leaned heavily on a combo of Marshawn Nealon and Chauncey Golston, which was surprising to me, considering you have Carl Lawson being wrapped up, went from 8 snaps in his first elevation a couple games ago to 21, 23 snaps against the Giants. And I thought that his trajectory would be a little bit higher, but, we'll see. Maybe some gamesmanship, we'll see. Trevon Diggs, before we get to Trevon, Brandon Cooks, like you said, is recovering from a knee infection, or an infection in his right knee, to put it more specifically. He was getting some shots in his knee, and it turned into an infection, unfortunately. So the Cowboys had to go in and basically clean that up, arthroscopic surgery. So he's going to be down for this week. 1 to 3 weeks is what I'm being told. Bye week is 2 weeks away. So if all goes well, he has a shot against the Lions, but it looks like a better shot against the 49ers, which is going to be a pivotal game, the pivotal game of the season. But Trevon Diggs, he was walking around fine in the locker room. He was in normal good spirits. Didn't get a chance to talk to him yesterday, but talked to a couple people. They didn't seem concerned at all. I will put an asterisk next to that and say this. I'm not concerned based on the conversations I've had, but again, they've been snake bitten recently.
Right.
So keep your eyes on it is what I'll tell you. Just keep your eyes on it. Let's see what today's injury report looks like. If he practices again, then I'm not so much concerned. If he's downgraded to like DNP, did not participate, then I'd be concerned. If he shows up as doubtful on the game designation, I'd have some concern, most certainly. But as it stands, as we have this conversation still, I'm not much concerned about him. Flournoy and Zeke, they both left practice a little bit early with dehydration. For those that are not here in North Texas, it is unreasonably hot for the month of October, and Thursdays are the go-hard practice days for the Cowboys and Shells. That's their longest day of practice, and it's the most intense. So those two guys, Flournoy and Zeke, left with dehydration. I talked to Flournoy in the locker room. Zeke was in good spirits. He's fine. Talked to Flournoy in the locker room just to double-check and make sure he's good, and he's like, Pat, I'm perfectly fine. I cramped up a little bit. Talked to Brett. We got some hydration. He was like, I'm good to go. Talk to CD about Flournoy, and CD said specifically, can't wait to see him out there on Sunday, end quote. So young bull ready to go.
I tell you something about Ryan Flournoy. I kind of joked about it yesterday. You wonder why he out there with dehydration? Because they said, oh, it's your turn. And he like, all right, I'm running 100 miles an hour every single rep. Hey, Dak, you see me, Dak? Look. No, but seriously, bro, like, he has to do that,
I don't
right?
think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong, man. I think it's hey, look at me. And because think about it, right? And when it comes to Flournoy versus Tolbert versus Brooks, and even versus Turpin in this situation, and this discussion of who steps up in the absence of Cooks,
right?
As much as Mike McCarthy says, and I believe him, that the Cowboys have been, for the past 4 weeks, trying to figure out a way to get Flournoy on the game day roster. But the fact that he said it that way tells me that they're continuing to lean more heavily on the experience of Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks, and to a lesser but still valuable degree, Kavate Turpin. They still haven't released Turp in the offense yet, and that kind of infuriates me, but story for another day.
Yeah.
But that's where my concern for Flournoy comes in, because I'm now more or less 99.9999% certain that Flo will make his NFL debut against the Steelers. What my concern is what's his target count going to look like? What's his rep count going to look like? Because, he's going to do some special teams work. Obviously, he's a rookie. He's got to get his hands dirty for Bones Fossil. But as far as targets from Dak are concerned, is this a game where, they have him out there, so that he's the extra body, but he's no more than the extra body? What I would like to see is you know what you have in Tolbert. More or less, you know what you have in Brooks. I would like to see more of Turpin. But you don't know, as far as NFL regular season meaningful snaps and games are concerned, you don't know what you have in Ryan Flournoy.
Right.
So this is a perfect opportunity over the next 1 to 2 weeks to figure that out. And then if you take advantage of that and give yourself a good sample size so that going into the bye week, you can say, okay, we know what we have in Tolbert, we know what we have in Brooks, and now because we've given, Flournoy, 4, 5, 6 targets a game over the past couple of games, now we can say, well, should he remain on the game day roster over a Brooks? Oh, it's not going to be over Tolbert, but maybe over a Brooks when Brandon Cooks comes back. So put yourself in position to, in a couple weeks from now, be able to have that educated conversation with yourself and your coaching staff about Flournoy, as opposed to 2 weeks from now, you're like, well, we only threw to the guy 2 times over the past 2 games. So, don't really know what we got there. Like, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to the young man, because he's a freakish athlete. He brings you the kind of physicality and ball skills that you had with peak Michael Gallup, and dare I say that you had in the Dez Bryant era. He's the big guy. He can go up and attack the ball. He can be your downfield threat. He can do some underneath work. And you're going up against the Steelers defense that is lights out as far as stopping the run, but very much lights on when it comes to trying to stop the pass. So good opportunity for these young receivers against the Steelers defense, I should say.
I think you make a great point, and you really don't have anything to lose to get Ryan Flournoy the ball a little bit over the next week or two. When you look at Jalen Brooks, he only has 5 targets over the last 3 weeks. So, that's likely where he's stepping into, right? Because everyone's going to bump up. You're going to get Jalen Tolbert now wide receiver 2. Brooks will be your traditional 3. Turpin will be kind of your quasi-gadget guy. I don't know what they're doing with Turpin. Pat, me and you on the same page here. This is strange. Exactly. And then Flournoy will take in wide receiver 4-ish, that Jalen Brooks role. So if you're only going to target him, what's it been, about 1.5, 2 targets over the last 2 weeks, that's not going to show enough. What do you have to lose to get him the ball? Like you say, give him 4 targets, see what he can do with it, and then build on top of that. Yep. Because with all due respect to Jalen Brooks, you said it. I think we know what Jalen Brooks is. I think we know what his ceiling was coming out of college, in my opinion, where Ryan Flournoy, his ceiling is much higher. The athletic ability is there, the after catch ability to go up and get it. Like I think he's a more gifted athlete that you want to see the ball in his hands more than a Jalen Brooks. So you're spot on, in my opinion, there. I don't want to say spam him. That's a bit too much. But let's try to get him to rock 3-4 times. And then now you have actual data, right? You have actual data to say, okay, we can put him out there over Jalen Brooks for the rest of the year. Or it's not going to work out. Brooks has a rapport with Dak Prescott.
Yeah, and it's not about spamming the young man. It's about getting him involved so you can have enough data to do a meaningful evaluation. Because if you go in to the bye week and he only has 2 targets combined over the between the Steelers and the Lions game, you don't have data to make a meaningful evaluation. All you can do is put him back on the inactives, but that's not his fault that he didn't produce on 2 targets unless both targets were 50-yard completions and 2 touchdowns. Right. But that's likely not going to be That's lovely, but that's not likely not going to be the case. And this is not a knock to Jalen Brooks or Tolbert. It's just that you have enough data on them where you can kind of gauge where they are, where their ceiling is, where their athletic ability is. But when you're talking about pure athletes, I would argue outside of Micah Parsons that Ryan Flournoy is the most freakishly athletic player in the entire locker room. If you're strictly talking about the measurables and the athletics, outside of Micah, there's not another guy who's as physically gifted at his position in this locker room as Ryan Flournoy. Now, does that mean he's going to go out there and beat Jerry Rice? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is if you give him enough targets and you give him the consistency over the course of several games, I think you will be more than pleasantly surprised with exactly how he can impact the game. And you will start calling him, a Michael Jr., like you used to call Michael Gallup, Dez Bryant Jr. I see that in him, but you got to give the guy an opportunity. And you're also going against the Steelers defense, and I talk about the secondary, the defensive front for them, and keep in mind Alex Highsmith hasn't practiced yet this week, by the way, folks.
I think he might be out.
So that's kind of a thing. But this is not the week to try to get the run game going. I don't believe that. They're number 2 in the league in stopping the run. But quiet as it's kept, they're 14th in the league in passing touchdowns allowed with 4. Guess who they're tied with at 14th? The Dallas Cowboys. So if you think that the Cowboys secondary is struggling, and they have been, then rightfully you have to look at the Steelers secondary and say, wow, they're struggling too, because they are. They're also 8th worst, the Steelers are, in the league in yards per reception allowed at 11.4. Guess who's 9th worst? Guess who's their next door neighbor in that category? The Dallas Cowboys with 11.5 yards allowed per reception. So if we're strictly talking the science, which we should be and we better be on the scientific method, for all of the rightful criticism that we have for the Cowboys secondary, and especially their run defense, but in the secondary allowing chunk plays and stuff like that, guess what? The Steelers are allowing it as well. So this is a game where if you're going to be without Brandon Cooks, you're still set up nicely because they have great personnel, but they run a lot of zone. They run a lot of single high. They run a lot of cover three and things like that.
Yeah.
Right, cover three and things like that. They're going to be spaces to make plays for these young receivers. So give the young receivers the ball, and I'm speaking specifically about Ryan Flournoy and Jalen Tolbert, and kind of let the rest flesh itself out.
Quickly on the other side of the ball before I get your gut feeling, I don't recall a detailed injury report on Kalen Carson. I know he was out last week, had the shoulder situations, been limited. Is it looking like he could be a go, or are we going to be looking at Amani and hopefully they keep Boots in the booth, but Boots again?
He's trending. Kalen is trending in the right direction. Practiced both days this week, both in a limited capacity, I should say. I spoke with him after both practices, and he says that he is feeling much better. I think that it's going to come down to how he practices today, and then they're going to make a final evaluation tomorrow. So money on the table, I'd say, as we have a conversation on Friday morning before they have this practice, 50-50 on Kalen Carson. You might see Amani back out there. But I'll say 51-49. 51-49, Kalen Carson takes the field. But again, this is before today's practice, and we'll see what happens there.
Prayer circle for Trevon Diggs' ankle, because if no Carson and no Diggs, it's going to be very interesting.
Man. Because Justin Fields is doing some stuff.
Yeah. He can run around a little bit. We're going to talk about that, Cowboys Nation, so make sure I put a pin in that. Gut feeling for this game, Pat. It doesn't have to be the outcome, but just something about this game that you're just feeling in your gut that you think will happen out there on the field Sunday night.
Oh, man. This is going to be trench warfare for the Cowboys against T.J. Watt and company. It will help them that Alex Smith may not be on the field. If he's not on the field, then you really only have to worry about Cameron Hayward and that interior line, and then T.J. Watt, but not necessarily both edges. T.J. Watt's not going to, jump edges. He's going to be placed in front of Terrence Steele. Steele has been a little bit shaky these past couple games, so you're probably going to have to give him some chip help, whether it be with Jake, whether it be with Rico, Zeke, whomever's in the backfield. Might even have to play some 12 personnel more than you normally would. And if you do that, I say give me John Stevens over Burma Span 4, but we'll talk about that another time.
I heard you mention that yesterday. I like it.
Yeah, man. I'm saying it. I'm talking Cowboys, folks. You gotta watch Talking Cowboys. I think this is a game where the passing attack, CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, they get going. Put a question mark on who the additional receiver is that will get going. Hopefully it's Flournoy. That's what I'm hoping. The secondary in Pittsburgh will allow such things to take place. But I think that the absence of Micah and DeMarcus Lawrence looms extremely large against a mobile quarterback, and you were struggling against mobile quarterbacks when you had both of those guys on the field. I think it goes down to the wire. It's going to be gut punch after gut punch. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring affair by any stretch of the imagination. Still working out my score, but I think the Cowboys escape with a win by 3 points on the boot of Brandon Aubrey in the final seconds of the game.
Butter.
That's just how these games go between the Steelers and the Cowboys. It always goes down to the wire.
Been down to the
wire. I think Butter gives you the win on a swing of the foot.
All right, Pat, man. Hey, listen, you got the science lab came out, I think, earlier this week, and now you're about to go head on over to Talking Cowboys. So make sure you check out my brother Patrick No.C. Walker, and of course, every week, and new wrestling podcast dropping on Wednesdays, man.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, y'all check out on DallasCowboys.com. Science Lab is up. It's been up for a couple of days ago. I dropped it a little bit early. It is the free agency option at defensive end because I don't know that KJ Henry is going to be the only solution here. Check that out so you can see what my options are, and I put the science and the scouting reports for each one of those guys for the Cowboys to go out there and hopefully do some work because they got money, so stop telling me you can't afford what I know you can afford. Oh, right.
My God. Appreciate you, Pat. Patrick No C. Walker, this week's version of the scientific method. You know how these boys do. You know how these Joneses do, man. They hit you with the we broke, but I guess that's how billionaires stay billionaires. But the problem is, it's a salary cap, my guy. It's not your money. It's the NFL, man. But it is what it is. He mentioned something there at the end of the segment that's a great segue into my first key matchup. It's very interesting and how you put it, because how I'm going to put it is a little bit different. But go ahead, take a sip of that water, some of that coffee real quick, take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll get into these key matchups of the game. Oh, and we'll wrap to y'all too if you want to call in 351-999-3787.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
In front of the millions.
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
We'll do it live.
We do it live every Monday through Friday. Hope your Friday morning is going well. I get it. I see a lot of the vibes for this week are not high. I mean, when you look at the injury report, again, prayer circle, y'all. Hopefully Trevon Diggs' ankle's fine. It's not great, man. But again, I've altered my perspective on things, and y'all know how I feel about week to week. It is a winnable game, but the Cowboys have to go prove that they can go on the road against a physical, competitive, well-coached team and get the dub. That's just the facts, right? That's just the facts. But let's talk about how it can be winnable. Like what the Cowboys have to do for it to be winnable. And he mentioned TJ Watt. I've mentioned TJ Watt this week. I've talked to Foots about TJ Watt. I don't gloss over who that is and what he brings to the table. Thus, key matchup number one. These aren't ranked in any order. This is the first one I'm talking about. TJ Watt versus Terrence in the world. And I say the world because it better be the world. In week one, we talked about how it was survive 95 for Tyler Guyton. This week, don't get shocked by TJ Watt. Talking to you, Terrence. Talking to you, McCarthy, Dak, Schottenheimer, whoever is responsible for putting this game plan, Solari, whoever. There's no two ways around this here. There's no world. I don't care if Terrence is my first cousin, my second cousin, my brother. There's no world where I want to see Cuzzo out there one-on-one with TJ Watt. No, sir. Unless that play is designed to get the ball out right now. That's it. Other than that, I need tight ends over there. I don't care if it's two tight ends. I need running backs chipping. Hell, if a receiver's lined in tight in a condensed formation, you got to put your hands, put your paws on TJ Watt. But there's no world where Watt one-on-one with Terrence Steele and the play design is, hey, we need to let this develop downfield. No. On the words of the great LA Knight. No. It'd be silly. Now, TJ Watt's not off to some fast start or whatever. Not at the current moment. But at the end of the day, he is who he is, and that for the most part, Terrence is who he is. He's not a Pro Bowl right tackle right now. That's just the facts of the matter. And what I noticed watching Watt so far this season is you can, quote unquote, contain him with the chips and sending backs and sending tight ends to him just enough to get the rock out. But when I've seen him one-on-one, he's usually winning more often than not. And something that John had pointed out that I had noticed as well in film, he'll get a bead on the cadence. So you have to switch up the cadence. That's a Dak Prescott thing. And if he does get a bead on that cadence, he can jump to snap it. He can get you. He did that against the Chargers against Joe Alt. For those who don't know, Joe Alt, top 10 pick, tackle out of Notre Dame. I mean, he got a jump. You can tell he got the jump. I believe it was Tyler Heineke or Taylor Heineke. And boom, he's just in the backfield before Joe Alt gets out of his stance. So early on, take the air, right? Take the air out of the stadium. Those terrible towels get going. They play that, where are my Pittsburgh? I don't know if there's fans in here, but folks in Pittsburgh know. What's the song they play? They play this popular rock song, I believe in the third quarter or something, fourth quarter, that gets the crowd going. Like the vibe that the Steelers have, and a lot of other teams in the NFL, the vibe that they have at home with the towels and kind of the rally cry. And that's kind of what I wish the Cowboys had, man. But, we like to show off our art. Hey, we got a Victoria's Secret in the stadium. Look at all the pretty stuff that, was it Charlotte or the wife of Jerry Jones? Jerry Jones' wife, she just along for the ride at this point. But look at our pretty art. Ain't no vibe, man. We coming out there to AC/DC or something. I don't know, man. Renegade. Oh, dog. When they play that Renegade, the crowd get crazy. Them towels get going. No. You want the towels to be down. You want it to be quiet in there, because if it's raucous, if it's loud, if it's amped, and TJ Watt gets going, he's hard to stop. And that's why I think he needs to face not just Terrence, but the world. Am I lying, Tex Rob? What's our vibe? When it's time to get the crowd hyped up, we playing, I know the song. We playing that ridiculous song we play every single game when they come out the tunnel. And I shouldn't say ridiculous, because it's a good song, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, at some point we gotta switch it up, because it's not quite the rally cry that we think it is. Isn't it Sandman? Is it Sandman? Oh, y'all tripping. Lou said we gonna play Dolly Parton. Oh Lord, man. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, so do they play black and yellow? They even got black and yellow. Yeah, man, there's a vibe up there. We don't even play with them boys, do we? Thunderstruck, there you go. It's Thunderstruck. God, I'm tired of goddamn thing. I would take Sandman over Thunderstruck. $215, what's up?
Yo, what's up, Will? Happy
What's going
Friday,
on with
my
you?
man.
Thank you, brother.
You are so right, bro. I've been to the old Cowboy Stadium. I've been to the new one 5 times. I come out of Philly, and I can honestly say, I know y'all going to be saying I'm capping, but I definitely know that I brought that damn white towel swinging in the early 2000s, because nobody was rally toweling in that damn stadium. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, man.
This was ridiculous. I had a lady, we were at the Eagles game, and I had a lady say, somebody, one of the Cowboy fans used the Eagles phrase, said, Eagles suck. And the beautiful Texas woman said, oh, that's not nice. I said, ma'am, you have no idea what goes on back in Philadelphia. She was like, oh, that's
not nice. That's it. Brother, I was at a Washington game, right? And they had this chant going on outside where together, right? One side of Washington fans was like, Cowboys suck. Jerry swallows. Cowboys suck. I'm like, oh man, y'all just in unison here. We don't have this energy back in Texas, I guess. I don't
know. Yeah. And like I said before, I called a couple of weeks ago, that year when the New Orleans Saints fans came and took over the stadium, Hurricane Trina year, they took over that stadium. I was so embarrassed, and I came all the way from Philadelphia to Dallas.
Oh, you're right. Like, the cheerleaders come out to Thunderstruck to get the crowd hype, Rohit. My apologies. The cheerleaders come out to Thunderstruck. Give me a break. That damn Thunderstruck. Retire that.
Do we still have the drummers dudes up in the
I have no clue, man. I have no clue. The problem is Jerry has a certain a certain group of people he has to promote to, right? So he can't play can't play none of that Kodak Black type stuff. He ain't playing none of that. He got to continue to play Thunderstruck. You know, that's what they want to hear.
You're so right. He has to appease a lot of people, and that's so unfortunate to us. So unfortunate for us. Man, yo, I'm just hoping Flournoy. I love to see the young boys playing this week. I love the opportunity. I hate the fact that we get down on Cooks and say he's not a number 2 and this, that, and the other. Now we know what was bothering him. Cooks was a 1,000-yard receiver prior to us, and then he gets here, and once again, the bad S word, scheme. We just don't put players where they're supposed to be, give them opportunities. We don't allow Turpin. How many touches did Turpin have in that Giants game? I'm watching that game. I'm like, this game can be over if you utilize your weapons, but I say this every year. It's a headache. I just hope we utilize the receivers the way we do. I believe Cooks, although whatever people think he is a 2 or 3, I know he does occupy that secondary, and he occupies the secondary's best 2 or 3 cornerback. So I like him to be out there, but he's not going to be out there. Let's see what the young boys can do.
Yeah, this would be oh, my bad.
Yeah, good.
Go
ahead.
This would be an interesting game to have Cooks if he was healthy because, as Pat alluded to, as we talked about with Foots, this defense plays a lot of cover 3. They give you a lot of room. They'll allow you to kind of matriculate down the field, and then they tighten up in that red zone. I think they're top 5 or 10 defense in the red zone. But, so having a veteran guy that knows how to settle in those windows, right, that will be missed because you just flat out, you got a bunch of young wide receivers out there that you hope can find those windows and settle down. That's where I feel like getting the ball to an explosive guy like a Turpin or a Ryan Flournoy will have to be purposeful in the sense of scheme. You have to kind of scheme him the rock because at least for Flournoy, he hasn't been out there when the bullets are flying to have that feel just quite yet. So maybe you have to get him a quick screen or isolate him and get him a slant just to get him going to see maybe if he can break something off. Because I don't think outside of CD Lamb and Turpin, nobody else on this entire offense is breaking something for an explosive big play that potentially can go from a 10-yarder to a 50-yarder like CD Lamb has done. You've got 2 guys and you only use one of them to do that.
Yeah, no, that's you 100% true about that. And the holding, I don't know what type of bag McCarthy has, but I'm just tired of seeing, year in, year out that we don't get an offensive lineman touchdown in the red zone until week 29. We don't get, it's just the same thing over. There's no creativity.
You trying to see Cuzzo get a passing touchdown? That's what you're trying to see?
I'm trying to halfback option pass. Do we need Robert Newhouse? Those are you old enough to remember Newhouse. I mean, I just see the first 5 weeks of every other teams, and they're pulling out plays, whether you want to call them gadget, trick, whatever you want to do it. I just call it keep the defense off balance, please. Can we get some? It's just so annoying, my man.
I don't think you're going to – I don't even think it's about trick plays. It's just more creativity. We just kind of run a very basic progressive read West Coast style offense, and I think teams have adapted to that a long time ago. So yeah.
All right, one quick question: that route that T.O. used to, it's a lost art. Terrell Owens used to do it. I think he got it from Jerry, and I know because he's explosive, he would go in motion and just take off right before the snap, and he would just get open every time. And we did it with Dez a little bit. Is that something that only certain receivers can do because you have to have that burst and that physicality?
So can you say that again?
T.O. used to do this route, Terrell and Jerry Rice, and we did it a little bit with Dez, where the wide receiver, it was normally a big wide receiver, where they would go in motion, and right before the snap, he would just take off. It's something you see in the Arena League, but they do it a little more exaggerated because they start way back, and then they run right before. But T.O. used to go in motion, and he would turn up. He wouldn't get flagged for it, but he would go in motion, and he would turn. As soon as the hike, he would just take off and route. He used to do it with the Eagles all the time. I think he got it from Jerry. He did it with us. That was like one of.
I mean, what
his
kind of
best
route though?
routes.
A stop route, an over route, or a 9? What?
Yeah, it was an over route. He would just get on top of the. I think it was like in the middle. It would be more or less down the seam. It would be right down the seam. He would get right in the slot. He would start out wide. He would go in motion, come in the slot, and he would just take off. I don't know if you remember that, but I just don't see that route anymore. I'm just wondering why receivers don't do that, and I think that's the type of route that Flournoy could do because Dez used to do it too.
Yeah, but you'd have to send me an example because what it sound like to me is just a basic motion, and then at the snap, the receiver is just running a seam route or something. I don't know how that doesn't really sound that crazy to me. So I'd have to see exactly what you're talking about because CeeDee Lamb does basic motion. I mean, he doesn't do speed motions or anything or jet motions. He does basic motions, and then at the snap, he runs his route. So I would kind of have to see exactly the play you're talking about, but I don't recall. I do know if you're talking about like an over route, we don't run a bunch of those. That's just not really a staple in this playbook. They're very more sharp type of designs, but yeah.
All right, I got you. All right, well, happy Friday, bro. Go Cowboy Nation. Let's go. Let's get a 10-point win. Stay up, stay strong. God bless everybody. Keep doing what you do, Will.
Thanks,
Peace,
bro.
Thank you.
A 10-point win on the road, given the Cowboys' injuries, would be great. I said the other day, the Cowboys, at least the offense, I think the offense has an opportunity to make a statement. I get it. This team isn't a juggernaut team. I think this defense is a good defense, though. I truly do believe that. This is a good defense. They maybe without Alex Highsmith, I really don't care because they still have a good front. You're without a bunch of dudes, too, on both sides of the ball. So you go out there and get a double-digit win. That would be huge, I think, for the psyche of this team moving forward. T-Jack, so motion, then run fast. Yeah, I would have to see it. I mean, if you talk, somebody said you'll see Tyreek do it, is what TB said. I mean, that's T.O. and Dez and them ain't never do what Tyreek did pre-snap motion. They ain't never do that. So, because you're talking about speed motion into the route. He said he goes in motion, then he turns, and then at the snap of the ball, he's going. Now, Tyreek will literally run full head of speed, starting outside, motioning in at the snap, and then running over. If that's what he's talking about, then maybe you saying Tyreek, I know exactly what you mean, but I just don't recall. I would have to see an exact play to kind of recall that. But, I mean, T.O., Des Bryant, these guys are different breeds. You know what I mean? Different breeds. Let me see something real quick. Hold up real quick. Oh, we ain't getting paid today. I'd rather come out to this and see this is the wrestling to me. This is the wrestling to me. Enter Sandman. They probably do. I'm just playing. All right, let me get out of here before YouTube try to shut down the stream. You just never know. Hey, JR, what's good with you, man? Good to hear from you.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
Good, man? Woo. Well, we got good football coming up, baby. You know what I'm saying? We got some good football coming up. I'm walking up to the job real quick.
Go ahead, brother. I'm gonna play this while you're talking. Go ahead.
No, I wanted to bring this up. We got an opportunity here to see somebody make their mark on the roster, especially at the wide receiver position. I was thinking when Patrick No-C Walker, shout out, you know what I'm saying, friend of the pod, you know what I'm talking about. He mentioned how we're going to be looking to get Flournoy on the field. It took me all the way back to the first wide receiver we had that wore number 19 in my era, as far as I understand. Yeah, you remember what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? The first wide receiver that we knew that wore number 19.
For the Cowboys?
For the Cowboys. Before Butler.
Who is it?
I think Miles Austin. Didn't Miles Austin wear number 19?
Yeah. Miles had 19.
Yeah. Do you remember how he even got his spot on the roster?
Hey, JR, that's so crazy because a couple days ago, this conversation came up with, hey, man, actually, I was listening to one of the .coms, and it was like, hey, it's like a rite of passage. These late round picks or undrafted receivers kind of have these moments because of injury. And yes, Miles Austin's 2009 moment against the Kansas City Chiefs on the road to help seal the victory took him to another level. The only thing that stopped me from like comparing it to that, bro, was that Miles Austin was in the league for that was his 4th year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was his 4th year, not his rookie year. So that's the only reason why I stopped. But you're right. If Miles Austin came out of nowhere kind of in that game, and next thing you know, he was, one of your better wide receiver twos.
Yeah, I'll even go further than that, though, because how he started on the roster, he didn't have 19 at first.
No, it was like 16, I think.
16 or 14, something. He had somebody
14.
else's
Yeah, it might have
number.
been 14, yeah.
And how he got on the roster was, I think he ran back a kick or a punt return for a long game, and then he had a touchdown. This was like in the preseason, and that got him on the roster. You see what I'm saying? And what happened? And then we catch back up the rest of history. That next year after that Kansas City game, I believe, I think we cut T.O. And then T.O. was trying to go and get treatment overseas, and he was with the Bills after that. You know what I'm saying? But he got T.O. up out of here. And I'm not saying that we're trying to get folks up out of here.
T.O. up out of here. That ain't what got T.O. up out of here.
Hold on. Hey, hold on. Now, if T.O. wasn't hurt and T.O. was still balling, T.O. would have still been on that roster.
No, he would have. No, he would have. It was a wrap, bro. That whole T.O. thing ran its course at that point in time. That ran its course.
I guess so. But I ain't going to say that didn't help. Well, his performance didn't help, But he took advantage of the moment. We have an opportunity on both sides of the ball to see young guys take advantage of the moment. And that's just the message to the young guys. Man, you got to do everything you can to stay healthy because, man, you never know who's going to go down and boom, it's your opportunity. You see what I'm saying? And I think the key to that is staying in your playbook, staying healthy, working on your on and off the field. You know what I'm saying? And staying in the playbook. You know what I'm saying? Putting that extra time in. Now Dak is going to need that that repertoire with Flournoy. You know what I'm saying? Come Sunday. And it's going to be like the game. Now transitioning to the game, the keys to our game is going to be our new X factor, number 40. Will be the key. If we get him, get some good looks, get some confidence early, what that's going to do is that's going to make these linebackers not.
You breaking up, brother. Might have to let you go. Yeah, he gone. And he said something about the linebackers and Hunter being the key to the game. I would like to see Hunter be a part of it a little bit more here, the game plan. We talked about this the other day in regards to running game. I don't think you're going to run the ball that well against them. That's a really good run defense. But if I'm going to match physicality with physicality, I would like to hand the ball off to number 40. I think he has good feet for his size. I think he can find green grass in small spaces, even though he's a big guy. And the Cowboys don't give you a lot of green grass consistently. From time to time, they do. And the running backs haven't taken advantage of that. But I'd like to see more Hunter Lipke in this game, for sure. Let me get to my second key matchup to this game. Now, I almost didn't include this because I wasn't sure what was going on with Diggs. But even if Diggs is hampered, this is still a big, important matchup to me. And I've been talking about this, been very vocal about this matchup all week and what I would do here. And based off how the Steelers operate in their passing game, I would have Diggs follow George Pickens on obvious passing downs. I would. Especially if Kalen Carson's not playing, so you're down to your 5th or 6th guy again. And even if Kalen Carson is playing, he's still a rookie who's still trying to figure it all out, right? But I love this matchup for Diggs, healthy, because Pickens is the ideal player type for Trevon Diggs to lock up. And that's with all due respect to George. I like George Pickens a lot. But he's a bigger body wide receiver. He plays predominantly on the outside, even though he's moved around the slot a little bit more this year. He's still predominantly outside. He's not a route you up type. He's not a blazer. He's not just going to run by you with 4.2, 4.3 speed. He's fast for his size, don't get me wrong. He's not going to make you miss in the open field like that, so the shiftiness isn't there. That's usually what gets Diggs a little bit. He only has one missed forced tackle this year, and it's not like even before that, he's a guy that was making you miss a whole lot of tackles. But what makes Pickens, difficult to deal with is he's uber physical. This is a physical player. At the line of scrimmage, this is a physical player at the catch point, and he plays with that dog mentality. Like down in, down out, to the point sometimes he frustrates himself. He gets in his own head, a la CD Lamb, right? But Pickens is a dog. And if you give him a full head of steam, unabated, say on a slant, a post, a dig, whatever, and there's nobody to kind of get in his way, make him reroute, he can use that full head of steam and pull away from you. Now, do I expect that against the Cowboys? No, because we play more vision defense. I feel like there's going to be bodies around him. They are, I think, gaining confidence within said vision defense. They haven't played a bunch of it in years past. And, for example, the Jets game a couple years ago, Garrett Wilson, was it? I think it was Garrett Wilson, somebody. You saw kind of a skinny post or a quick slant, can't remember the play. We're playing single high, cover one, man coverage. Stephon Gilmore and Garrett Wilson or whoever the receiver was runs that skinny post or that slant. Wilson delivers it. Because you're in man, you don't got bodies around, takes off, 60, 70-yard touchdown. You shouldn't see that against this defense. You have not seen that against this defense because you have more bodies, facing the quarterback, more bodies in these spaces, and teams are having to fit it in these windows. Now, the Ravens and the Saints got big plays on you, but two different reasons. Ravens, a lot of short stuff that want for big plays. Saints, speed right down the middle of the defense or deep overs where you weren't getting a pass rush and he's back there filing his nails. Next thing you know, Olave is open for a 30-yard game. But I like this matchup. I don't think they have enough weapons outside of George Pickens to threaten you. So I put my best man on your best man, who isn't that versatile. Shut that down and make Justin Fields have to go to read 2, 3, 4 and run around all day because Justin Fields doesn't like to go to any other receiver other than George Pickens. George Pickens has, I think, like 29, 30 targets. The next highest targets on the team at the receiver position is 10. So, it's not like he's going anywhere else. He's going to Pickens, he's going to Pat Freiermuth, or he's taking the hell off. So this is a key matchup to me. I'm moving Diggs on Pickens in obvious passing downs. Doesn't have to be the entire game, first downs, second and shorts, third and shorts, but obvious passing downs, second and long, third and medium and long. If you can get up, you're up 10, 13, 14 points, and they got to throw the ball. Yeah, Mr. Pickens, say hello to Trevon Diggs. Say hello to Diggs. Let's get another call before I get to my third key matchup. Mr. Aaron, good morning, good sir.
What's up, Kai? Can you hear me good?
Got you loud and clear.
So I missed the first. What was your first key matchup?
TJ Watt versus Terrence in the world.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. So I didn't hear it, so I was calling in for that one. I was like, that's the number one. Because that boy doesn't move. He stays on the same side, right? TJ Watt only rushes on the left, defensive left.
I mean, I think he has 100% of his snaps over there. So, week one, I said it would survive 95 because Myles Garrett predominantly plays on the left tackle. Well, and Myles Garrett moves a little bit. TJ Watt ain't. This week is don't get shocked by TJ Watt because he's going to be over on that right side about 100% of the time. I don't think he moves at all from that side.
Yeah, so that's my number one matchup, obviously. Number two is I know I kind of hit on this. It was like 2 years ago. I think we talked about this a lot when Cowboys were kind of struggling with the zone read thing, and we were telling them that they should play more cover two. And they started sneaking it in a little bit, and then they stopped doing it. I think this is – I know, like, if Diggs is banged up, I think this is a cover two game. if you can handle things, you don't have to worry about them taking the top off the defense. With the safety.
I mean, that's your defense, right?
Yeah,
Like that's Zimmer's
right?
defense is cover too, so he doesn't want to be in a single high look, but he had to force himself to in weeks 2 and 3 because you couldn't stop the run. Traditionally, like what he wants to do is keep those safeties back there and beat you with his front 6, front 7, whatever it may be. So, yeah, I think if you go back and look at the game against the Giants, they didn't play a whole lot of safety in the box. They play a lot of cover too, and you were able to shut that run game down.
Yeah, as long as they stick with that, I feel pretty comfortable because that keeps the corners and the run fits and the read option for Fields. But I mean, if you switch back, I'm gonna be really upset because the Steelers' running game kind of stops itself. It's not really anything great about it.
No, they run it a whole lot, but they don't run it well.
I know, it's weird. So, but anyway, that's a great job, man. Even though there's a weird behind years, doing a great job, man. Appreciate all you do.
Appreciate you, Aaron. That is a perfect segue. It's like you guys are just looking here at my rundown. It's a perfect segue to my Dave's hot take of the week. If you love America's team, you will love America's chicken. Dave's hot chicken has all types of heat from mild to reaper, and their bomb sides include the crinkle cut fries and mac and cheese. It's your go-to spot for hot chicken. And if you're in the McKinney, Plano, or Waco areas, stop in today and let them know we sent you. That's Dave's Hot Chicken, America's chicken. Hot take of the week, Cowboys Nation. Aaron touched on it right there a little bit, where he talked about the Steelers' run game has not been great. So, my hot take, the Cowboys, even without Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, will have a good day, shut down Najee Harris and this Steelers rushing attack. Whoa, Sky. They've been getting whooped on the ground. They have in 2 games. But they've mostly struggled with premier runners. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, right? They've struggled with those types. Going up against the Fords and the Deshaun Watsons and the Daniel Joneses and Devin Singletaries of the world, they haven't really struggled in that sense. So I feel like even without those guys, the Cowboys' run defense will step up to the plate and have a good day. And here's why. When you go back and you watch the Steelers against the Colts, right? Their linebackers really ruled the day there, the Colts linebackers. The linebackers were a huge part in shutting down Najee Harris and not giving him any momentum at the line of scrimmage, beyond the line of scrimmage to get going. He averaged 1.5 yards per carry, and that's because these backers were very aggressive downhill, usually not respecting the passing game or respecting Fields to be able to change the play, because Fields even came out and said, hey, man, if it's a run play call, we're going to run the ball. So I think what happens here is the Steelers, who are not great in general running the rock, they're 29th in rush yards over expected, 27th in success rate. You're going to get the Dallas Cowboys, who will play, and I think they'll do this. I know this might sound crazy after the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks. They will play sound ball up front and allow their linebackers to rally and flow to the rock. And we know they can rally and flow when it comes to Kendricks and it comes to DeMar Van Overshown, and it comes to Maris Leofau. These guys can flow to the rock. So I think they'll shut it down. Now, I think they will shut down Najee Harris. The wild card is Justin Fields. How much will they use Justin Fields in the run game deliberately? And how do they do it? Right? So far, a lot. They use Justin Fields a lot. He's second in the league in design quarterback runs. But the how isn't like it was with Lamar Jackson. I felt like that's what really tripped the Cowboys up. They had no idea how to handle it. The Steelers aren't running it that same way. And the Cowboys actually have an answer to that in how they do it which is more like how the Giants want to do it with Daniel Jones or how the Cleveland Browns want to do it with the in their run game. They got their own secret weapon. But that is my hot take of the week, presented by Dave's Hot Chicken. The Cowboys will shut down Najee Harris in this run game. But that does lead me to my third key matchup. Justin Fields versus DeMarvion Overshown. This is why this is a wild card to me. So the 18 design QB runs are second in the league for Justin Fields. But when you really go watch, it's not a lot of success. I think because he's second in the league in rush yards out of it, but that's because he's run it the most. He only has 2 10-plus yard rushes out of design quarterback runs and only 4 overall in the season. By the way, 38 attempts total, 38. That includes scrambles, that includes design runs, and only 4 rushes of 10 yards. You go look at a guy like Lamar, he already has 11 rushes over 10 yards. So where Justin Fields, to me, with his legs are more dangerous, it's not necessarily the design ones. The Steelers aren't doing anything exotic. This is what they're doing. Quarterback power, hey, Justin, grab it, act like you're throwing, run it straight down the middle, find blockers. Nothing exotic, nothing crazy going on there. Where Fields gets you on the ground is scrambling. You think you got him for a sack, you got it covered. Next thing you know, an incomplete or a sack turns into 5, 6, 7 yards, right? And now we're in second and short, third and short, or first down. But that's where DeMarvion Overshown comes into play. DeMarvion Overshown is the quarterback spy that we all fell in love with week 1 and how he spied Deshaun Watson. And this, to me, Fields is more Deshaun Watson than he is Lamar Jackson. Meaning they both can run the ball. We tell Deshaun Watson was so slippery in that first game, but he also didn't do enough running the ball to hurt you. In fact, you won that battle by a million. I think the Cowboys can win this battle with DeMarvion Overshown playing a similar spy technique to Fields. And the Steelers aren't going to run their quarterback designs in the same way the Ravens did. Because some might look at, well, Sky, that Ravens game got me a little nervous about this matchup and how the Cowboys adapt. Well, the Ravens are way more creative. The Ravens do Picard and they got the tight ends involved. They do actual quarterback sweeps with elephants on parade. Got to worry about Derrick Henry. Got to worry about Lamar passing out of it. Like, they put a lot of stress on you in that manner, and you would hope the Cowboys also learn from that. And I think they did. I think they learned from that. I think Zimmer, I don't think Zimmer's a dumb coach. I think Zimmer will have adapted from that. I guess last week he may have. It's tough to tell. I don't think Daniel Jones was ever looking to run, for real, where Fields will look to run. So this will be a good tell if they've adapted, to what happened to them in week 3. But I'm confident this matchup in general, you get Fields in the open field with DeMarvion Overshown, as long as you're not getting a body on Overshown on a quarterback power or something. If Overshown is truly spying, I don't think Fields is going to be able to run away from him if it's heads up. Now, Fields is having to go from, left hash mark and all the way to the other side of the field. Okay, or Overshown, is having to go from left hash mark all the way to the sideline. But we've seen him close on these quarterbacks really fast, and these receivers for that matter. So it's a big matchup to me. But something that Fields said, I wish I would have clipped it. Something that Fields said that gives me more confidence in this defense, even without, D-Law and Parsons, is he talks about he gets in the line of scrimmage and he's not changing anything. We mentioned this during the week. They're not doing a whole lot at the line of scrimmage. They're not really doing a whole bunch post-snap either. Pretty basic. Arthur Smith is known to have some creative run game things, and I'm on record saying I like to have his rushing scheme with the Cowboys. It seems basic what he's doing with the Steelers because I don't think he's really dug in that bag yet. But I'd rather have that than what we got going on. But they don't really do a whole lot of craziness pre and post snap. They don't do a whole lot of pre-snap motion in general or at snap. They're about middle of the league in doing that. And when they run fields, it's nothing special. So if you're not going to put the Cowboys in a bind pre or post snap, and you're just saying, hey, my guy versus your guy, I think Overshown can win his mano-a-mano matchup. So give me that. So those are, what's hopium? Oh man, y'all not listening, brother. Those are my key matchups. Big Max, please call in or let me know, what am I selling to y'all? I'm giving you matchups, bro. I'm telling you what I'm seeing on the film. I ain't gonna let y'all come in here and just put words in my mouth. What am I selling to you, Big Max? What do you think I'm doing here? So if we're talking about Fields and Overshown, you don't believe that DeMarvion Overshown could deal with Fields? Is that where we at? Because I disagree. I think DeMarvion Overshown can deal with Fields, but you're entitled to your opinion. But what hopium am I selling you in that George Pickens and Diggs is a key matchup, and I like Diggs on Pickens? What hopium am I selling you that they better worry about TJ Watt? Because if it's one-on-one, I don't like it, and they need to have the world. What hopium am I selling you? See, the problem with y'all is y'all hear something y'all don't like or disagree with, and y'all go to the extreme. Well, you're selling hopium because maybe I like a matchup. I didn't say the Cowboys going to blow them out. Well, you're negative because I'm being realistic about a matchup I don't like. Pick a struggle, bruh. Pick a struggle. 351-999-3787. Pick a struggle. What hopium am I selling you, Big Mex? Come on in. Until then, Nacho, what you got for me?
My man Sky, am I live?
You live, brother. The number on the screen.
As I'm getting ready
on the screen.
as I'm getting ready to step out. How are you? Hey, listen, what you're selling me is dead on. I like your analysis. I like how you're.
What am I selling you?
You know, well, you're selling me the goods, my man. You're selling me the goods because I'm with you. I feel this game is going to cut.
Hold up. One second, Nacho, because I'm Durax guy is activated. Giving Arthur Smith grace. Where you been at, 10 Wop? Now you can come get some of this smoke too. Giving Arthur Smith grace. Y'all want to tell him? Y'all want to tell this 10 Wop, Mr. Whopper? I said Arthur Smith is not good. I like his rushing scheme. I'd like to have his rushing scheme here. Arthur Smith is not a good play caller. You better go on with that. I mean, Durax guy activated. Who want the smoke? Come on in. Big Max, you up next. Let's come get this smoke, Big Max. What's up?
Yo, I hear it. I'm gonna have to send you $5 for snapping on me, Sky.
All right, come on with it, brother. I got the Durag ready. Activated. Pow.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm in trouble. No, look, Sky, it ain't good. You selling hopium about the matchups. That's all accurate as fuck. It ain't that. It's,
okay. All right.
Hoping that Zimmer is gonna somehow adjust. Hoping that Mike McCarthy is gonna somehow adjust.
Brother, stop you right there. I ain't said a damn word about Mike McCarthy today, and you already know how I feel about Mike McCarthy.
I brought up Mike McCarthy.
Okay, all right.
You spoke about Zimmer. There is no adjustment on this team whatsoever.
Okay.
This coaching staff is completely incapable of adjusting your scheme offensively, defensively, or anything otherwise. The only hope that we have on this team anyway is kickoff return. We never addressed issues in the offseason that needed to be addressed. This is just me. I'm doing a little rant. Sky, I love you.
I'm letting you do it. I'm letting you go. I got you, brother. I got you. Go ahead. I'm letting you go.
Yeah. But, you know, this team ain't did no adjusting. On top of that, we were good, but we weren't good enough last year to get anywhere in the playoffs, and we got worse in the offseason. We didn't sign anybody. The rest of the league keeps moving, and we stay stagnant. And the coaches that we have aren't capable of doing adjustment to certain.
You breaking up a bit, Max. Let me help you out while you get settled here. I don't know that. First of all, offensively, I ain't arguing with you at all. None. Mike McCarthy is who he is. That's just period. Until he proves to me that he's woke up in the 21st century, he is who he is. For Zimmer, I said this from the jump, even when we was getting our ass whooped. I will give him a little bit more leash because this is his first year with this group. And obviously, first year, you're trying to figure some things out. So he's got a little bit longer leash. It got shorter after week 3, but he got a little bit longer leash. I will say, though, you did see some ability to adjust last week. But I also put an asterisk on that because I don't believe Daniel Jones was ever going to really run like that because he came off that ACL or Achilles or whatever it was. But they did adjust a little bit to how they played it. So there's that. I just have to see them do it consistently is all I'm saying, Big Max.
Yeah. And, you know, my thing is that I'm not you watch way more film than I do. This is your job. You know what I mean? So I take your word for a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? You and Bosh, y'all my 2 favorite content creators. Y'all been bringing Brian Broaddus on. I love that dude.
Broaddus
so
is fantastic.
y'all are educated. Y'all are the ones that educate me on what's going on. I don't see anything that is giving me any type of hope that we are going to make adjustments. I've never seen this team make a halftime adjustment, you know, on defense or offense.
Hey, Big Max, I'm not trying to sell you that all this is going to happen or whatever. I'm just giving you my breakdown of the game going into each week, bro. I'm not here to. This ain't the channel to sell you any type of hopium or the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. I'm way past that. This ain't the channel.
Yeah. No, I ain't saying you selling no hopium about no damn Super Bowl. I know better. I know you know better. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen this year.
I'm just focused on the Steelers, man.
In
brother.
my opinion, I think we done.
I'm just focused. I feel you, Big Max, but just this week, give me a gut feeling on this week.
I hope you're right, Sky. I promise you, I hope you're right, man. Because I need.
On what? I didn't even tell you my prediction. You give me yours.
Yeah, I know. Okay, talk to me.
Give me your prediction. I said, give me your gut feeling on this week, bro. Give me your gut feeling.
We going down like the Titanic. We going down like the Titanic. We lost our 2 best pass rushers.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough with these injuries.
I don't know who's gonna step up. Which one of these, second and third? We have no depth on this team. We have no backups.
Fair enough.
So when the stars go down, who is gonna step up? These guys weren't good enough to make it as a starter. The only thing we can hope is that the defensive coordinator dials up a scheme that works and they don't expose us. But with any defensive scheme, there's always some holes. And if those coaches are smarter than ours, and they probably are, then they're going to figure out what those holes are, where they need to attack, and how they're going to dominate us. Because I know that we were suffering against premier runners, but we were trash against the run last year.
So give me your gut prediction. You can give me a score. It's fine.
Gut prediction. We're gonna fight this thing out and lose by 3 points. Gut prediction.
Okay. I thought the way you was going about this, I thought we was about to get blown out from your prediction, but a hard fought 3-point loss. All right.
I don't see no blowout. Yeah, I don't see us winning. I don't see no blowout, but I don't see us winning either.
Gotcha, Big Max.
All right, Scott.
All right, bro.
I got to send you 5. What do you have to make that do?
I didn't even get a chance to go for real, Big Max. But appreciate
it. Call now. Well, here's the number. God damn it.
No, you trying to trigger me. You ain't triggering me. Get up out of here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. God damn.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, brother. I appreciate the show, man. I appreciate everything you do, man. I'm locked in any day, man.
Salute. You definitely are. You definitely are. Hey, Nacho, I apologize, bro. I'm going to let you go ahead. Do your thing, Nacho. They activated Durax guy. I had to go ahead and I just had to give him the smoke. That's all. Go ahead, Nacho. Do your thing.
I feel you, man. I feel you. No, you know what? He's calling. He's on point. He's on point. You're on point. Sky, I feel this game is going to come down to coaching, play calling, play design. When we are going into this football game with some of our star players down, I would like to see our coach. I'd like to see Zimmer and McCarthy win as a game. That's the coaching staff. Go in there. You had the extra little mini bye, if you will, prior to this game. They should be prepared. They should have seen the film. with the Colts and how the Colts were able to kind of, move the ball with them and kind of really play, Justin Fields defensively and so on. And, you made a very valid point when you talked about, Overshown, whether, he could be a big factor in terms of, being that spy to Fields and so on. So I think it's going to come down to coaching. I really do. I can see a 3 to 7 point ball game. Now, Sky, I was getting excited that it's going to be a really. I looked at my forecast. As you know, I'm traveling.
Oh, that's right. You going to the game?
Call you. Yeah, I'm going, my man. So I wanted to call you just to kind of say, hey, man, I'm on my way. I'm excited. It said 75 to 78 degrees, sunny.
Ooh.
Around 5 o'clock Pittsburgh time. Yet I'm hearing there might be thunderstorms. I'm like, what?
Got my hopes up right there. Let me go look at the weather now. Let me 1 second now.
Can you please check on me, because I was listening to Jazz
Pittsburgh
and Broadus last night. As you look at that, and they were saying, Broadus was saying, bring your jacket, and I'm going, what? Oh,
yeah,
man.
let me look. I'm looking now. Hold up. Sunday is the 5th, 6th, right? Thunderstorms.
That's what I heard, and I'm like, what? Really?
Yep.
Like,
Thunderstorms
really?
in the evening will give way to clear skies overnight.
Oh, man. That is a bummer, because I was
87%
early,
chance. God.
See, I was thinking early October. Man, perfect time to go to Pittsburgh. I mean,
it won't be cold though, right? Like, at least it won't be 20 degrees, 15 degrees. A little rain, Even more reason to find a little bit of a run game this week, even though against that defense might be tough. But yeah.
So now all of a sudden, that forecast might be a factor in the game. Now I did not know it was going to be thunderstorms and rain. So
yeah.
But anyway, besides that, everything that everybody's talking about and the topic you got going on this morning, man, it's great, and I'm with you, and I really just feel it's going to come down to I know we're very inconsistent in terms of what we do with our play calling and play design and trying to get our players the football. I want to see I'm going to come down to the first 10 to 15 scripted plays on offense. Okay, what are we going to do, not knowing what we have to work with? And I'll leave you with this. I don't know if you recall, but a while ago when I called in, looking through the preseason and so on, I made a comment on that young rookie Ryan Flournoy. Now, I'm not going to compare him to or all that, but I'm going to tell you what I feel about that young man.
How you feel about him?
His catch radius, the way he hit with his hands, how physical he is as a receiver, the routes that he runs, he reminds me of a young Michael Irvin. Just remember that. Let's go. Now am I saying?
I done heard Des Bryant, and now Michael Irvin. Woo!
And let me tell you, and let me tell you why I say that. Okay, so I'm not going to just say, okay, he's going to be a Michael. No, I'm not going. All I'm saying is, I like he's physical.
Yeah, he's definitely physical.
His catch radius, he's got big hands like Michael Irvin did, and if you watched the preseason with Lance and the routes he was running in the corner pylons and all that, the way he caught the ball, I remember Michael Irvin coming out of Miami. And I liked him in that number 18. He looked like that slender, nice looking. Obviously, he's going to go to 80. I hear that he's obviously small school, the big Jerry Rice fan. Hey, wonderful. He seems excited, and Nosey Walker talked about it. I heard the interview. I'm pumped. I really like this kid, Sky. I really do. I'm hoping. I don't know that he's going to get a lot of targets, but hey, listen, if they get this guy going,
yeah,
I like him better than say Jalen Brooks. I'll tell you that right now.
I
And
don't
hopefully he
disagree
gets
with
that
that part. I was talking about this as well, where I just think from an athletic standpoint, he just provides a little more. So I would like to see those. I think Brooks got like 7 targets on the season. I would not be mad if they found a way to get him the ball at least 3 times in this game just to see what he can do. He can give you a post catch, because outside of Lamb and Turpin, and they don't use Turpin, so you can almost just forget about Turpin. But so outside of Lamb, at the legitimate receiver position, like an actual wide receiver, Tolbert and Brooks aren't really, and even Cooks at this point, because they're not giving Cooks the ball in the manner to do that. None of these dudes are taking slants or hooks or drags, and they're going 6 yards to 60 yards, 10 yards to 25 yards. I think Flournoy has the athletic ability to do that. So I would say let's see what happens if he gets 3 targets in this game, and then you build from there. I'm not projecting, the 88s on the young man, but I just want to see baby steps this week, and we can go from there. Yeah.
Sky, I'm gonna leave you with this. I'm waiting for McCarthy to let loose of those ropes, grow some cojones, start going vertical passing game like he was in the second half of last year. For whatever reason, whether it's I'm not trusting my O-line, I have young players, the separation between the receivers, Dak Prescott is good at those window throws. Something's going on. We got to break that. We got to start pushing the ball downfield. And this might be a game against Pittsburgh. Sure, they might have the number 1 or number 2 defense in the league, what have you. But they're passing, they're back, they're secondary, the middle of the field. That is where we could eat.
Yeah, middle of the field ain't downfield.
And I'm hoping.
But you're going to have to, unfortunately, play similar ball that you've been playing, because they're not. If you want to just run a whole bunch of routes downfield, they'll say thank you and do that, because that's not where they're vulnerable. They don't give up big plays downfield. The Colts had all their scoring drives are 8, 9, and 10 play drives, because they're not allowing you to get deep downfield. They only give up I think 2 20+ yard completions, and one was a trick play. So they're not really going to allow you to beat them downfield. And so you have to be strategic in how you do it. And I don't think the Cowboys necessarily are. In fact, I want to say it was, I can't remember what play it was, that Pitt got open for a play downfield. He ran an over route. So we don't really run those type of routes. We're very basic West Coast type of style of offense, a progression read style of offense, where you start seeing the ball get pushed downfield, and you start seeing routes downfield and with some type of makeup behind it. Is when Dak is in 4-minute, 2-minute offense, because we can't just dink and dunk down the field anymore. So that's where you start seeing those. So unfortunately, I don't know that you can just push the ball downfield in this game with just willy-nilly. It has to be strategically. And the Cowboys, I don't think personally have strategically put anything together conceptually that says, oh, this inspires confidence in them getting the ball downfield. Nah.
Nice. Well, good stuff. Hey, Sky, much love, and let's go Cowboys. 2017, 23-20, 23-17,
close game, field goal, muddy it up. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That'd be great.
Yes,
That'd be great.
Yes, sir.
All right,
my man. I'll catch you up next week, and I'll let you know how it was up there in Pittsburgh. All right.
Appreciate you, bro. Salute. So we got 2 opposite ends of the spectrum. We got close game win, close game loss. So far in Cowboys land. This definitely, from what I've been seeing, at least on the interwebs and hearing the chat and stuff, it feels like a mixed bag with fans for this game. And I get it, right? You lost a lot of players. On paper, you shouldn't win this game. On paper, you shouldn't. But you have the better quarterback. And when you go into these type of games with a better quarterback, I think that makes things closer. The problem is we've seen that sometimes that does not matter here in Dallas. And I don't think you have the coaching advantage either, period. So that could play a factor in it too. So I get why you got one side of fans say, I don't care, man. We win in this game. Got the other side that's like, look, this is what we're up against internally. Not even talking about who we're playing against, but internally. And they're down on the game. But as for pushing the ball downfield, again, man, I think McCarthy is who he is. This offense is what it is, and at least coming out, that's never his game plan. If you go watch every single one of these games in the first 15, it's, and I say this all the time, I don't like when Dak plays within this structure of this offense. I don't. I hate it. I don't think it's a type of offense of structure that is conducive to big play ability, scoring a bunch of points. That's not it. When they stopped playing this style of offense after week 6 and kind of opened it up, as Nacho said last year, things then became big play, big game ability, or big scoring ability, et cetera, et cetera. The structure of this offense is very much old school West Coast. I'm gonna keep saying it. And it's very much, we talked about it last year, talking about it this year. Go check out Kurt's breakdown again. Very progressive. It's a progression read system, and I'm not a fan of it either, especially on those short dropbacks, especially then, because it's just 1-2 and boom, 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 and it's fast. And that's why I always disagree when people say, oh, he doesn't go through his read. That's wrong. He goes through them too fast sometimes, because that's just part of what this offense is. It's not, let me get to the line of scrimmage. Oh, one-on-one CD? I don't give a damn what's happening over here. Let me get to the line of scrimmage. Okay, bet. We got numbers advantage this way. I know this is where I'm supposed to go in the progression, but we're going here because that's what we're going to do. He plays within structure. He's not going to cause any storms with his guy. This is what the play calls for. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what he's going to do. Now he just had to deliver it. I don't like it. Like when he plays out of structure. When we play out of structure, then that offense start turning up. But you can't sustain it that way. You need to have some type of foundation that you can lean on. I asked this before. What is it that the Cowboys can lean on? At this moment, it's nothing. It's Dak. Is Dak not fucking up? Not fucking up. That's what it is. It ain't the run game. Right? It's not, you have this great scheme. It's not his running ability. It's for not up. Because the minute he does, you're in trouble. $100,000. It's Friday. You already gave me I told you so prediction, but for those who missed it, give me I told you so prediction for Friday, so we can come back in Monday and we can get your give you your time.
We beat the Steelers.
Yeah, you told. Yeah, it was pretty basic. This one was just a dub.
Told you that.
Yeah, this one was just a
dub. I told you that. We beat the Steelers. I think we're gonna beat the Steelers handily.
Yeah. Oh, handily. Now that's the I told you so prediction right there. Handedly.
We gonna beat them. We gonna beat them. Handily.
One of these handedly's got to come through. Wasn't the same to the Ravens, but one of them got to come through.
You ain't going to get me down on that one, boy. I mean, you ain't going to let it go.
$100,000. Listen, bro. When it happens, I'm done. I wipe my hands clean. I'm never going to bring it up ever again. I'm done. You got it. We go out here and beat the Steelers handily. I'm not ever bringing up that. I'm not ever bringing it up again. You got it.
I get it. You were scarred. You were scarred. And you said, I got my get back now. I got my get back and I'm going to take it. I respect it. I respect it because you was hurt. You was hurt. For y'all who don't know, last year, the Cardinals game, I came in here, I said.
He said, you better watch out. You said we're going to lose, right? Then you predicted the law?
Yes, we're going to lose. I said it. And you was hurt. You was like, what? Ain't no way.
Ain't no way, dog. They went out there and beat us, man.
Because we was high and mighty at that time. Nice winning streak. And I crushed Sky's dreams that day. And he...
But see, what I didn't know...
he was hurt.
What I didn't know is, the Trevon Diggs thing. I think that really had a big effect on that game.
I think so too. That was that was bad. And to be fair, I said that before the Trayvon.
Right, you did say that before. Right.
But that added fuel to when that happened. It was just
bro, he a little dinged up this one here, man. So I got my eyes squarely on the injury report today.
I got a feeling he's going to play.
Oh, I think he will too, but we don't want him out there hobbled. You know what I'm saying?
No, we don't. And for those people, oh, this guy's hurt. That guy is hurt. What is Mike McCarthy's record when guys get hurt, Scott?
I have not a clue.
This isn't a Jason. When guys was hurt with Jason Garrett, we knew.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. That's one thing.
It was done deal.
That's one thing with Mike in Green Bay in the Super Bowl year. He had the most people in the IR to win a Super Bowl. So, he showed in 2010, that could happen. Dak goes down, we go 5-1, and he's won some games.
That's
what
I'm saying. So guys, hold your horses on that. Like, this ain't Jason Garrett. If when our top guys got hurt with Jason Garrett, pack the season up, or pack the game up, we're about to lose.
That's facts.
With Mike McCarthy, that has not been the case.
I always said when Jason Garrett had his horses, everything was fine. But when just one of those horses wasn't in the stable, all hell broke loose.
So, and listening to Mike Tomlin, he ain't no dummy. You listen to that press conference with Mike Tomlin, he ain't no dummy. He like, I respect this guy, I respect that guy. Dak Prescott is cerebral. He know what they got coming.
Yeah, he know the offense is Dak Prescott and CD Lamb. That's what he know. Right? That's the whole offense.
He respects it. But here's the thing. He not looking at that like, man, we going. He knows. Facts. He's like, you can't sleep on these boys, because if you sleep on these boys, they're going to jump up and bite you. That's what I'm saying. He knows. And their offense can't compete with ours. They just don't. Sky.
Yeah, they got offensive problems.
Handle a shootout. It's defense or nothing. It's defense or nothing with those boys. If they defense don't come and show up on Sunday, it's going to be a rout, because they don't have the horses to compete with us if it comes down to a shootout. They don't.
$100,000. Tread lightly. Because this starting to sound like week 3, $800,000. Tread lightly. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying nothing else, because if I play week 3 and put it over top of week 5, it sounds just tread lightly. I heard this before, and what I said back was, when the hell have we shown we got this type of offense to just blow? Let's relax a little bit here, okay?
Listen.
We ain't broke out yet. The offense ain't broke out yet, brother.
Everybody talk about Dak Prescott, the problem he not. Why isn't he throwing the football? What do we say? Guys are not getting open. Dak got to fit that ball through a keyhole every single play. If you looked at that football game yesterday, guys were so wide open.
Every week I'm sitting like, how is that happening? And you know what's considered wide open for Dallas for the most part? Oh, man, when he came out of his break on that curl, he was wide open. I'm talking about dudes just running wide the hell open across the field and getting delivered the rock.
Mike Evans was so wide open.
Mike Evans was wide open twice running across the field.
Yo, what is going on? And you go sit here and I know there's people in the chat. Man, I'd rather have Kirk Cousins. He threw for 500 yards.
Ain't no way
you get that so wide open. Come on, man. Anybody
ain't no way you
can
choose
do
to believe that, man. Well, Kirk went off last night. Good for Kirk, but come on, man, stop.
But those guys was wide open, though. Imagine if Dak Prescott had that. Oh, man, forget about it. Forget about it, man. And I'm telling you right, we just need a shot in the arm. Like you said, nobody can catch the ball and break tackles except for CD. So we not getting no yak either. That matters. If a guy catch the football, they getting tackled because they not getting wide open or they can't break tackles. The only person that can do it is CD and sometimes Ferg. That's it. That matters.
And Ferg is, at the end of the day, Ferg is a fantastic breaking tackles, but we talking about dudes that could take one to the crib. That's what you talking about.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah.
You saw that yesterday. So when you guys say Dak Prescott's trash, you got to look at the skilled players, man.
Hey, $100,000. Don't even matter. There's no point in even giving that attention no more. Dak's here. He got signed. I don't pay attention to people that say that man's trash. If you want to have a real football conversation, we can have it, but don't even give that attention. Right. Bottom line, that he's the least of your worries on this offense right now.
And the people who say the running game is trash, you can't really say that.
Me.
And I said
now we can battle on that, $100,000.
Yeah, you.
We can battle on that.
No, listen to me. Listen to me.
Go ahead.
I thought like that too in the beginning until I looked deeper.
Now you talking to a guy that looks deeper than many, so don't act like I ain't looking deeper.
Okay, check this out. Our wide receivers don't get separation, right?
Mm.
That's established.
Sure.
How do you think that affects the running game?
That has nothing to do with the running game.
It does. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if nobody can take advantage of a one-on-one situation,
that's too different.
You don't have to.
You setting that up. You don't have to put that up wrong.
You don't have to put two safeties.
You setting that up wrong, brother. You should start off with, hey, they're dealing with another safety in the box, not the wide receivers ain't creating separation.
I was getting there. I was getting to the safety.
Okay, number one. Number two,
don't have to be on the roof.
Number
at
two,
all. They can just sit right there in the box.
You know there are statistics to show you that, right? You know there are stats to show you that they're not running into stack boxes. You know that, right? But go ahead, keep talking. Keep digging a hole. Go ahead. I got you.
Don't get me wrong. You're right. No.
You said the right game.
You have to.
Go ahead.
You have to. I don't like this. Just run straight up the gut. What are you doing?
No. You said the right. Ain't no wrong with the run game. Ain't no wrong with the run game.
We need to get on the edges. We need to get on the edges instead of running straight up the middle. We need edge runs. But two, if the wide receivers would take advantage of their one-on-ones, or if we had somebody to just give some attention to those safeties, so those safeties could be on the roof, that's a less man in the box when we hit those edges.
Rico Dowdle runs against the stack box 26 in the league. 20.
He think he could just run over everybody like Superman.
No, bro. No. I'm telling you, they're not seeing stack boxes like you think. 26 in the league. Ezekiel Elliott is right around the same. They're about 20%. Brother, teams don't respect this run game. What the hell they need to put a safety in the box for unless it's an obvious rundown? You can't block it up good. Your running backs ain't worth a damn in that sense of making guys miss and being creators. You don't have a scheme that can take advantage of light boxes. So teams aren't dedicating anything to the run game no more. This isn't 2016, 17, 18. Right? Teams are saying your best option on offense is 4.88. So we're going to play coverage. Yeah. So, I'm one of those guys that thinks the run game sucks because it sucks on so many different levels, and you can't overcome that consistently. You just can't. You need to have something you can lean on in the run game. What is it? $100,000? Is it blocking? Nope. Is it play design? Nope. Is it play call? Nope. Is it a dude in the backfield that can do it all for you? Nope. The run game's a problem, bro, that they need to figure out.
That's why we have to pass to set up the run, and that's why we need somebody else to kind of give us a spark. I feel like this Flo guy, I think he has a chance to do it. I think he has a chance to do it because there's no tape on him. Nobody has seen him, so they're gonna come into this game. We just gonna double team CD. We don't even care about this Flo dude. He ain't done nothing. So here's his chance to take that number 2 or number 3 and abuse them. Show. Because if you can show, wait a minute, hold on. And all it takes is one play. You get one play and you get a 20-yard play. Imagine you take one to the house. This changes the whole game is what I'm saying, Sky. It changes everything. And I feel like that's going to be the spark that's going to allow us to win this football game. He going to catch a good 1, 2, maybe 3 passes. They're kind of like, wait a minute. It ain't just CD no more. And that's going to lighten up the rest of this game. Period.
In this game? or just in general for the young man Flournoy?
It's gonna give us a shot. It's gonna give us a shot that's gonna give us momentum for a couple of games. But we ain't really gonna see no big changes, and it's good. The only other game we have is the Lions game. So I mean, this gonna propel us into that game, and then let's see what they do. Let's see what other tricks they come up with on the bye. You know. Yeah. But if we can win this game and win the Lions game, that'll be great going into the bye. That'll be great going a 2-game winning streak into the bye. That's good momentum. And then, you know, if this flow guy can emerge.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if you saw the conversation me and Pat had, but that we were basically saying these next 2 weeks, if Brandon Cooks is out, I would try to get him the ball a little bit, not spamming him, nothing like that. Give him, 3 targets to see what he can do, build on top of that. And see if that maybe in a bye week you can say, okay, we're going to get him involved. We're going to have him take Jalen Brooks' spot so we can get him involved in the game. So I'm on the same page with you right there. I don't
think you can spam him, Scott, because you don't know.
No, we're not saying. That's what I said. Not spamming. I'm saying like three targets. See what he can do with it.
Yeah.
4 targets, maybe the next game. See what he can do with it. And then if it's some positive things, then you go into the bye week saying, okay, we're making a big move here. We're moving Flournoy up on the depth chart. We like what we see, and maybe he works his way as the season goes on. But, we got to temper expectations. He ain't Michael Irvin just yet.
Question.
You know what I'm saying? We got to go see it.
Question. 4'4" guy? What is he?
I think so. Yeah. 6'2", does he go? Look like 6'2", something like that. 6'1", 6'2", about 200 pounds, and he runs a 4'4", I believe. I can get you the exact one.
Okay, so he has some speed on him. Okay.
Oh yeah, he can scoot.
We need that.
He can scoot.
That's one thing we need.
6'1", 202, 4'4".
That's what Sky. That's what we've been missing. A tall guy, not a Turpin that's short. Nothing against Turpin, but you can't send Turpin on 9 routes or things like that, and he's short and get the ball picked off. Now we got a tall guy that's got some height on him. That's a change in the receiving core. Even with Cooks, Cooks is not that tall.
Yeah.
He got the speed, but he's not tall. We always complain he's not tall. A tall guy can just abuse Cooks.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate you, 100 grand. We gotta get some other callers up in here, bro.
All right, bro.
All right, man. Salute. Let's get Cam Cowboys.
My man, Sky.
What's going on?
Sky, what's going on, baby? What's happening, man?
Ain't much, brother. Talking to y'all, clowning with y'all.
Hey, man, listen. Look. I want to apologize first and foremost. Look, I've been a little bit unsubscribed to the Dallas Cowboys algorithm based off of what I've seen after last year. But, it's almost like in a relationship. It's highs and lows, all right? You got to work through it, right?
Yeah.
Well, look. Hey, look. I just wanted to tell you, love. I always love your show, brother. Like you put this thing on differently than a lot of other people do. I told you last year. You like the black Colin Cowherd to me. So you know what I mean.
I'm a fan of Colin. A lot of people weren't, but I'm a fan of him.
Yeah. Look. So I just want to talk about. I'm not going to get into the schematics and all that stuff like that. I just want to see our team, act like men. We know we're going to get into a boxing match these next few, these next stretch of weeks. Put your fist up and fight. That's all I'm saying.
Play inspired.
You know what I'm saying?
You want some inspired football.
Bro, does it not look like that to you, though, sometimes?
I know. I'm with you. At least those in that week 2, week 3 stretch, it definitely looked like uninspiring football for sure. And some moments in that Giants game where they were just moving the ball and breaking it backs on third downs. But yeah, you're going to have to play some inspired football the next 2 weeks before you get to the bye because you're going to be without some of your best players. So that's just facts.
This season, off of everything that I've seen, and my service is not that great, but from what I've seen, we gonna have this is gonna be a scratch and claw season, period. So at minimum, just show that look, maybe we ain't got all the best components, but look, if you can turn some of these things into a dogfight, you don't know where it's going to lead at that point. Like, you can, but give yourself a chance. Like, sometimes it just, like, it feels like that they don't.
I think the concern is that the Cowboys haven't proven that they can be the ones to come out on top of dogfights. Like, they haven't shown to be dogs. They've shown to be front runners. This could be a season to do that. So far, it's 2-2. So far, it's really been an up and down weird year where, if you get into a dogfight with, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Bills, hell, the Steelers sometimes come out on top. They almost had no choice but to win a lot of these dogfights, even though they haven't won a bunch of championships or whatever. But the type of brand of football, right, that you're getting from those guys. They have no problem going into the back alley and whooping you. Right? They have no problem getting to these dog fights. We've had a problem doing it because we are front runners. So they've got to prove, and maybe this is the opportunity to do it, given you're probably not going to be blowing out any of these teams over the next 4 or 5 weeks. You're going to have an opportunity to show that you can get your hands dirty in these dog fights and come out with victories. Because if you can do that, that will give you a lot of momentum moving forward towards the end of the season.
Right. It's just like, look, because worst case scenario, like, at least if we get into these games, like, why do we have to keep being the dudes that get all the punches to the solar plexus? Like I know that our running game is not that strong. I know that, I know Mozzie Smith and all that, and on our defense, they figuring some things out. But, man, like, at some point, you got to look in the mirror. I've been sober for 2 years. When I stopped drinking, I had to look in the mirror and be like, look, all right, something got to change. And I knew that was one of those things. Like, they have to, at some point, say, whether it's be it that Jerry and Steven, which the boatload of money they're sitting on, again, they saying that they can't afford to do something. But we've all seen the numbers. We know exactly what they got. We know what the value of the team is. To ever say that you can't afford something to try to change something, just to me proves that they cool with putting mediocre product out on the field. But if somebody's gonna, is it my fault?
No, you're good. In closing here, when the owner / president / GM / face of the organization interrupts practice with the helicopter on the field, that just goes to show you exactly what those guys are about. Okay, how I don't normally talk about that type of stuff, but I mean, come on, man, come on. Come on,
right?
Yeah, but
let me give you a prediction.
In closing, yeah, give me a prediction.
All right, look, let's. I'm on board because I've been liking these dudes my whole life. Let's just say we get over on Pittsburgh. I'm going to say to the tune of, let's say 24, and let's say that we hold the Steelers to 13 and we show some fight.
Everybody has this low-scoring game for this. I agree. I think if you're going to win this game, it's going to be because you hold them to low points, and if you lose, it's because you can't outscore them, even though they're not scoring a lot. They shouldn't break 23 points on you. It should be in that 16, 20-point range. Like, their offense isn't built that way. But appreciate the call,
all, man. Hey, everybody hit that like button for our boy Sky.
Salute. Good stuff. Yeah, when we do our Cowboys win or Cowboys win if, Cowboys lose if predictions, it's going to be centered around the same thing. Like, if they can't score more than 20, probably lose, right? There's a record the Cowboys have that are 0-28 of the last 28 games that haven't scored more than 20. The Steelers don't score a lot of points either, though. Like, their offenses are built like that. That's why I think you actually have the advantage on that side of the ball. Now, on the other side of the ball, the Steelers probably have the advantage, but that's where you need a 4. Step inside the booth, loosen up the tie. Superman is going to have to come alive in this game. Run game, O-line up and down. Although I think pass blocking is a little bit better. I know people they see the sacks and things like that, pressures, but just 65, not 5, I think Dak can work with what's happening there. Unfortunately, the times where he is pressured or sacked, it's like, damn, somebody might have broke there. But it's for me, it's the run blocking and stuff. That to me is just porous consistently. I think you're more consistent pass blocking unit than you are a run blocking unit. Yeah, for sure. Let's get one more. I mean, we're going to get all y'all. I promise. I got all y'all. There's like 1, 2, 3. It's like 5 of y'all. But we'll get one more before we take a quick little break. We got East Coast. What's good, East Coast? I don't recall talking to you too much, but I got you in here as East Coast. So what's up?
Yeah, that's me. What's up, Scott? Yeah, I'm East Coast, man. It's Dwight, but I mean, it's still East Coast because I'm from the DMV.
Got you. So I should put East Coast Dwight. What's up with you, though, man? What's on your mind?
Keep me in prayer. Appreciate everything you guys do, man. I listen to Voch and Coyer and all of y'all, man. Y'all do an excellent job, man.
Thank you, sir.
Y'all do a real excellent job. I like the content that y'all do, but just keep my buddy in prayer. A good friend of mine, when I moved out here from the DMV, a buddy of mine, his wife was dealing with cancer, and he just texted me and said that she passed away.
Damn. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. That's tough.
Yeah,
that just happened just now?
I drive tractor trailer tankers for a living, and I just told my dispatch, I was like, man, I'm going to just do this one load today, and I don't want to be driving this in my mind, not there.
I'm so sorry to hear that, bro. You ain't gotta say nothing about this game, if you gotta go and take care of business there. But prayers are definitely with you, the family, and your man, your friend there.
Yeah, but the real real talk though. I mean, what I wanted to talk shoot to you real quick was, I think McCarthy need to be a little bit more aggressive, because I mean all of this script plays that he do, where he always got to script certain plays. I think we need to get away from the script plays and let's go with points. He already know the playbook. What he need to be doing is trying to put up some points. Like say you want to put up 21 points in the first half. That should be a goal. Instead of trying to do script plays, do numbers. Try to put up numbers on, like scoring touchdowns or kicking field goals or whatever you got to do. Get a number in mind.
You are on to something.
In the first half, and then try to make some adjustments in the second half.
You on to something there, because so McCarthy is every team has a script, the first 15. I often talk about this a lot, and I enjoy watching teams opening scripts. I often sometimes just randomly go watch a random team across the league and watch their first 3 possessions just to get an idea of how they're opening up these games. If you watch the games last night, just go look at those 2 teams specifically. Is it Lee and Cohen? I'm starting to become a big fan of this guy in Tampa. Just go look at how aggressive they are in their opening script. Exactly. Aggressive isn't, we're taking shots, nine routes down. That's not aggressive. But you're on to something in the sense of, instead of being like, okay, progression read, boom, 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 boom. We're just trying to, we're going to come out here. We're going to do a slant flat combination. We got 3 curls on this side, and we're going to cut the field in half, do a sprint right option, and for whatever reason have only one option here. That's not aggressive. That's not trying to score points, in my opinion. That's you just trying to establish something. And that's fine if you have a legitimate scheme where when you're establishing it, it is putting the defense on its heels, is setting something up for later, or is scoring points. The Cowboys don't have either of those things happening. So, like you said, you know the plays, you know the playbook, you know what plays work, whether it's in the third quarter, fourth quarter, when you're down, whatever. Start with those. Throw out your 15. Your 15's trash. Get rid of that. Get rid of having Dak play in this structure of, all right, we're just going to 1, 2, 3 progressive. F all that. What are your best 5 plays that can generate big plays or score points or move the chains? Run them things to death, and then we'll figure out the rest. Because right now, this scheme, in my opinion, ain't ish. It's nothing.
Exactly. And then a little bit more, what they can do is, when Dak, I know he doesn't run like he used to, but I mean, he can still use his feet a little bit more. I mean, at least make it like third and manageable. like run the ball, gain 5 yards or something like that. If you don't see nothing, tuck it down, run it to the outside, slide or whatever like you usually do. Get 5 or 6 yards or something like that. Make it easy and manageable. And then the other thing is, man, for us to run the ball, like you always say, man, they got to be a little bit more creative. And I want to see Turp a little bit more.
Same.
If they send Turp a little bit more, and like I hear a lot of people say, let him run deep and stuff like that. Yeah, let him run deep a couple of times, but he's still a wide receiver. I mean, he can do all of those other routes as well. Because you see that last game when he just shook that dude in the end zone. I think they was playing when we came back on. I think it was the Saints or something like that. Even though I think we lost
the Ravens, maybe.
But we came, huh?
Talking about the Ravens game.
Yeah, the Ravens game when he caught that touchdown in the end zone.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, and they just don't use Turp. It's like they use him like maybe 2 or 3 times and you don't see him no more. I'm like, they need to use him more. And you're talking about as far as the problem is that I think Mike McCarthy just don't want to he don't want to do too much because he don't have no trust in nobody else. Because it's like he got this quarterback with making all his money, and he's like he got 2 rookies. So he's like his hands is kind of like tied. It seemed like to me because he feels like if I let everything go and put too much pressure on these rookies, man, I'm gonna get Dak killed, and then he's gonna definitely lose his job. So I think what they need to do is like New England used to do mass protection, and then let your wide receivers do what they need to do. Because I haven't really seen, because everybody talking about separation and stuff like that. If you scheme these guys up and try to set up something and do mass protection, so that way those route work going downfield. But Dak is not getting no time to throw the ball downfield because he's always rushing or he's always trying to spin away from somebody. If they do a little bit more mass protection and throw the ball downfield, I think they'll do a little bit better in disguising more than plays.
Nothing's wrong with more Max. I think you'll be shocked if you like really, really go back and watch how often he actually is clean. But it's just when he isn't, it's just what you remember, right? And that's why I'm always a big fan of when you grade an offensive line, you grade, and Broader says this a lot, you grade the 65, not the 5, or the 63, not the 3. Because the 3 you're going to remember, like, oh man, he got beat for a sack or beat for a pressure. But you look at the other 60 plays, he was fine type situation.
Uh-huh.
And technically, Dak has actually had a pretty decent amount of time to deliver the rock. And it's just that design-wise, I think what's happening on the back end, maybe he, like you said, McCarthy's not confident in getting guys downfield because maybe he doesn't trust the guys. I don't know. You have to ask McCarthy that situation. But nothing wrong with a max protect. But if you're going to max protect, you got to max protect and take a shot. You got to max protect and you got to have something on the back end, or maybe similar to what the Saints do. They'll run a lot of just 2 wide receiver routes, but they got something attached to it, whether it's pre-snap motion, it's snap action, and some play action. There's creative things behind it. If you're just going to have guys 7 max protect, drop back and send 2 receivers into a sea of 7, that's not going to work. So, if we're just doing that and then everything else the Cowboys are doing stays the same, it's not going to work. You have to set up max protect, because when you set it up, whether it's run game, whether it's eye candy, whether it's motion, jet motion, at snap motion, then you can throw those guys off balance. But the Cowboys have to build to that, in my opinion.
Exactly. And I'm going to let you go after this, man, but I'm going to see if I can get up with you guys, man, because like I said, I want to put a face with the voice or whatever so y'all can know who I am. Because like I said, I mean, I live in Houston now.
Okay.
So,
oh man, storm down there.
Man, he's in Dallas, so I'm gonna probably be spending some time out there in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, just spending some time with him, helping him get through this.
All right, man.
So while I'm in town, I'm gonna try to come in, maybe go to one of them spots where y'all be at, get some food with him or something.
Hey, let me know, man. Me and Jesse would be more than happy to welcome you guys in, chat with y'all, and watch the game with y'all, man. So appreciate it. My condolences for your friend's wife. I know everybody in the chat is already saying it here, but prayers are with you, brother.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Let's go, Cowboys.
Let's go.
Let's do the thing. All right, Scott.
Thank you. Hey, you heard what he said. He want to come through. He talking about Canvas. That's where myself and Jesse Holly will be this Sunday night. We won't be upstairs, though. For those who have been coming weekly, we will be downstairs, I believe, in the patio, weather permitting. So we'll be outside, different look, different feel, different vibe. So come on through. Get your good food, good vibes, and, of course, watch game day with us there at Canvas, the #1 sports viewing destination, especially on Sundays, where me and Jesse will be holding it down. And if you happen to be at the crib and you need some drinks for the crib, he was my player of the game last week, hit up Specs. Specs got you covered. Whether you're having a game day watch party, whether you just need that perfect bottle, or you're planning a regular party for you and your peoples, Specs has you covered. Great prices, expert advice, and best brands. You can find it all at Specs. They're here to make your game days easier with the delivery or curbside pickup, and you can shop right online. Download the app. It's an easy place to order, or you can go head up to your local Specs anywhere in the Texas area. There's bound to be one near you. That's Specs. Cheers to you. Cheers to savings. Some really good calls today. You guys are on point. Saying some good. Even what Biggie say? Do I still got it?
Even when I was wrong, I got my point across.
That's for you, Honey Grit. Hey, Big said, even when I was wrong, I got my point across. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Let's get Reek up in the building. What's good, Reek?
Hey, what's going on, Sky? What's going on, Cowboy Nation?
What's up with you?
I'm trying to figure something out about our offense, right? Like you were saying, like you and the guy were just talking about. I look at other teams and how they running their plays. Why are we the only team that's not being on some copycat stuff? And we have weapons. And it looks like we're the only team that's in the stale type of offense, and it's not looking easy for the quarterback to get these players open. Like, the play calling doesn't look to where it's like somebody's going to slip open a lot. But you look at teams like Kansas City and like last night, the way that the Falcons won last night, like, that was a good game. You know what I mean? That was a real good game between those two teams. That was a real good battle. But it was fun and exciting because both of the offensive coordinators was going at each other. You know what I mean? And you've seen the creativity in the plays. Why are we not seeing that?
Bro, like,
you know?
Like, I'm watching. All right, I'm gonna take y'all behind the scenes. Just go ahead, keep talking. I'm watching the Bucks opening script right now, and they just had this simple run play here that I like. And it got them like 7 yards or whatever. Just simple stuff like this. But go ahead.
Simple stuff. The motions, the play actions. It's a whole bunch of eye candy. Our team doesn't do that. Like, we don't do that. And I'm like, this is not the Mike McCarthy I remember back from Green Bay. You know what I mean? I know he doesn't have all the weapons that he had back then, as far as the wide receivers, the 4 wide receivers, and a big running back. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see the creativity because we have weapons on this team. It's just, if he was more creative and how he's doing his play calling to get somebody open, I think we would be a much better team, man. Because it's like it's no eye candy. You know what I mean? It's eye candy. We haven't figured out who's the better running back on the team.
He has no choice this week to go out there and help out you guys. You got a lot of young receivers, okay? A lot of young receivers that are going to be given an opportunity to step up here, but I'm sorry. I need the coaches to help put them in that position too. Like, if you're now Tolbert, third round pick, he does have some expectations, but Brooks, Turpin, Flournoy, like, these guys, you're going to need to put them in good position to execute and make plays. And that's where sometimes like a game or two, coach is just going to have to go out there, earn their bread, and out-coach another team. And this is one of those games for me where you have a struggling run game. You're down your wide receiver 2. Your wide receiver 1 I don't know what's happening in the second halves, right? Like him and Dak just aren't in the second half getting it together. They're starting off hot. They're not finishing. So there's a lot against your players right now. You got the rookies on. So you're going to need your coach to kind of win one for the Gipper, right? Like, I'm not asking you every week, even though some teams, their coaches do every week, they out-scheme a guy or at least it looks like it. But I'm just asking you this week, I'm going to need you to step it up and help out these young guys, because I don't think individually Brooks, Tolbert, Turpin, or Flournoy are just going to go out there and just automatically be these high-end players without your help.
Yeah, that too, man. But it's like, damn, man, why are we the only team in the National Football League that believes, or only organization that believes we can do less with more? Because even when people try to bring up this whole Tom Brady, New England situation, New England went out and got Randy Moss. New England had good role players on that offense in a damn good scheme when they didn't have a running game.
The misconception about New England is that they were aggressive. It wasn't just Randy Moss, Stephon Gilmore, Darrell Revis. You can go back even further, Corey Dillon, if you want to go way back in like 2004. Like, don't get it twisted. They didn't just sit on their ass and be like, oh, we got Tom Brady and we don't need to go. No. That ain't the case.
They got a damn all-star team at one time with Ty Law, Seymour, fucking Teddy Bruschi. I remember these dudes. They was giving Harrison.
Rodney Harrison. They went out and got Rodney Harrison, Junior Seau. Yeah, they weren't. They were aggressive at one point.
They was giving teams hell, man. They was giving people hell. Peyton Manning, that's the reason Peyton Manning couldn't win number 1 over there. They was giving them hell. And people gonna sit here and try to tell me, oh, the Cowboys gonna try to be like, oh, we can do less with more. Bullshit. Because your play calling ain't up to par plan. It ain't up to par, and the players that you putting on this team ain't up to par all the way. We got good pieces, but some teams had great pieces. They had 2 tight ends over there that was, before old boy did what he did, they had 2 great tight ends. Even though they drafted them, but they knew what they was doing. Even when they had less, they had more in other places. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Yeah, but you having a off-season conversation, 100 grand. Let's go. Reek, y'all get me confused. You having an off-season conversation, Reek. Like, there ain't nothing we can do about that right now.
Yeah, I know, man, but it's like, damn, we keep going to the same season. I mean, in the different seasons with the Joneses bull junk concept of how to run a team. And we're like, damn, we be frustrated like hell. But we got to roll with what we got because they don't want to spend no money. Yeah. They want to sign the quarterback mad late. Come on, man. It's bullshit, bro. Right, everybody else looking good. But what I'm gonna say this part, and I'm out of here. I hope that we can go into Pittsburgh with a tough mindset and try to come out with a win. I don't give a damn if we win by 1 point.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. As long as we win, man.
By any means at this point.
As long as we win.
Appreciate you, Rick.
Because I do not. All right, peace.
My bad. I mean that get a hard exit, but we got other callers. Plus, I wanted to show this play real quick. This is that play where old boy was wide open. I believe it was Mike Evans. Mike Evans is at the bottom of the screen. Right. Oh, okay, this is a different drone I got. Yeah, trash that. He right here. There's Mike Evans. Simple, like this is simple. There's nothing crazy about this in the sense of post snap. They're obviously in the red zone, goal line on the 2 or 3 yard line. But it's just simple stuff. I mean, he's going to do a motion. This motion is going to put this guy in a bind. Now they're blitzing. That's the thing about this. They are blitzing, so they catch them in a great look. So I'll give them that. But watch what the motion does to the cornerback, because I believe the cornerback was supposed to follow, or it doesn't even matter. They got tripped up. So here's the blitz. These guys are blitzing. These guys are blitzing. It's man coverage, obviously, right? It's kind of like a cover zero type blitz. The cornerback is following my guy here. There's the cornerback here. So he has him. But because of that kind of jet motion at snap situation, watch what happens to the corner at the bottom. He gets pushed out. He's thinking, okay, I mean, I don't know what his responsibility is. I'd imagine it's to stay on Mike Evans, but maybe he thinks something different. But he's like, all right, I got to get him because they might throw this thing out. Nope. Look at Mike Evans. When the last time you saw that in Dallas? Not the play design, a month that wide open. When the last time you saw a guy that, oh, y'all can't even see what's going on the screen. But when the last time you saw that guy wide open? I just know that y'all can't see me writing on the screen right there, but you know, let me see. Maybe if I do this, it's all good. Because I didn't screen capture. I did the window. But y'all see it. Y'all get what the hell I'm saying here. Simple. Nothing crazy about this. Motion. Confuses the corner. I believe that's A.J. Terrell. Slips right underneath. Wide open. I mean, there's more to it. There, you know, I was just watching some of their plays. There's not that. It's more than just that in the red zone. Falcons do it too. I mean, other teams do it too. The script, it just seems a bit different for them than us, and that is what it is, man. Toxic said, wait, you're allowed to pass in the middle of the field? Oh, we do that. We just do it with curls. Man, middle of the field, Dak throwing the middle of the field ain't a problem. We just do it with curls and slants, yeah. All right, we got two more. Let me get to y'all, and we'll wrap to y'all in the chat, get some super chats, and get up out of here. We in overtime. It's Friday. That's why it's a long show. 904, what's up?
Yeah, TGIL.
Yes,
How
sir.
you doing, Will?
What's
going on, man?
I'm doing good.
Oh, man. Yeah. Can't wait for Sunday night, prime time. You know how we do it.
Day for Sunday night, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Man, I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do for Sunday night, man. Oh, excuse me. But I know these young receivers definitely need to step up, especially for number 80. That's going to be his number, right? Ryan Flournoy?
Yeah, I think he did change his number to number 80. I think you're absolutely right about that, yep.
Yeah. But you know what's going to happen, though? Because I think he's going to kind of remind me of, if you think back, remember when Miles Austin had that came-out party against Kansas City?
Yes.
Back in 2009.
Yep. Somebody called in earlier about that. Yeah. You think he could have a Miles Austin type game, huh?
Yeah, and I'm thinking of that too. I'm thinking it ain't gonna be no 250-yard type game.
That game was crazy. 250 was nuts.
Boy, I jumped out the couch when I watched that game all the way to the finish. I mean, like, man, I lost my voice that day.
Yeah, I would love for that to happen, obviously, but I'm tempering my expectations. I'd be happy if he had like a 3-catch, 35-yard, 1 touchdown, or 3-catch, 40-yard, 3 first down type game. I would love that. My expectations aren't as high as Miles Austin, when his breakout game in year 4. But honestly, kid, just get out there, line up right? Don't be like Jalen Tolbert and line up on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Don't have these miscommunications that don't fall over your feet, causing interceptions. Just go out there, do your job, allow the game to come to you. And if the throw comes to you, because Dak will spread that ball around, right? If it comes to you, secure that catch. And if you can't make a play, make a play. That's all I'm looking for this kid. Everything else is icing on top, man.
Right. And the only thing that really is going to concern me is that, with the play calling, just like what the other fans was talking about. But the only thing that really concerns me is that, some of the offensive linemen and stuff like that, because it is going to get crazy because, like, you're in Pittsburgh and it's going to get loud, and, the offensive lineman is not going to hear the Dak with the play calling, or whatever, and it's going to be a lot of false start or whatever.
We can't have that,
going to happen.
We can't.
And you can't have that.
No,
you
not this
can't
week.
have that pre-snap crazy stuff.
Not with T.J. Watt on the other side. If you get behind the line,
we can't get in that third and long. We definitely can't get in that third and long. If we get to like third and short, maybe like 3rd and 3 or something like that, that's what we want to get at. We want to get at least 3rd and 3 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So if we get into that type of range, we'll be straight. You know what I mean? And that's all I have with that.
All right. Hey, appreciate the call, man. Good stuff.
All right.
Yeah, that's something that, I haven't really talked about. We'll probably talk about it more on Sunday in the pregame show. You cannot get behind the sticks on these guys. This is, again, a good defense. It's a very solid defense, disciplined defense, sound defense, but it plays through their front. That's why they don't blitz a lot. That's why they just say, fine, we'll play a lot of cover 3, zone, vision defense, because we believe in our front causing chaos. We believe in number 90 and Benton and Cam Hayward, these guys causing chaos. And we talked about it when we said Terrence or TJ Watt versus Terrence in the world. If he picks up your cadence, right? If it's so loud, which there may not be a cadence, or maybe that's silent snap count, so you're going to have to throw that off a little bit. If he picks that up, TJ Watt can get off the ball with some ridiculous explosiveness and put Terrence in a bind immediately. So yeah, take the air out the stadium. Don't allow it to be so loud in there. And sometimes that means playing slower ball, running the ball. But I've been hoping a little bit more from the ground game for the first 4 weeks. It's been one of the worst, if not the worst in the league. So you're going up against one that's not that great either. So there's that. Magic City or Maserati. I don't know which one we got, but what's good with you, Marv?
What up, Steel? How you doing?
I'm good, man. We're going a little overtime today, but I got about 5 or so more minutes to kick it with y'all. What's up?
Oh, man, just hope this coach, and don't get these stale plays. Deuce Vaughn up the middle, Zeke left. I'm like, please don't come with this crap. Like you say, it's on him. He got to coach, of course. If you don't coach, then we're going to have problems. Because everybody else have receivers. I watched the game last night, too. I'm like, man, this is explosive everywhere. Every team is doing explosive plays, except us, because we come with boring offense. So it's going to be up to this guy, man, McCarthy, man. What you think?
Yeah, we was having this conversation today with another, I think a couple minutes ago, actually. I think this is one of those games where, at least offensively, he's going to have to coach it up. Defensively, I personally, I said this in my hot take, I feel good about them stopping the run and putting the game in Justin Fields' hands. If they don't, well, brother, we got even more to talk about because I don't think they run the ball well. I think they have a solid scheme, but they're not good up front. The running back, Najee Harris, is okay. I think he's a good player, but he's just okay with his production. You can't let him just get loose. He hasn't really been able to get loose. Don't let him get loose on you.
Yeah. Don't make him a star.
Yeah. So I think defensively we can hold our own defensively, and that's even without Micah. I know that sounds crazy without Micah and D-Law, but you're going up against Justin Fields and George Pickens. I think that's all of their offense. Just limit Justin Fields from breaking your back on these third down runs, and I think put Diggs on Pickens, and you should be all right. Just don't let them get the ground game going. If they don't get the ground game going, you'll be fine. Offensively, you're going to need your coach to coach it up, and your quarterback. I'm sorry, to play his best ball. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't let that Austin, the kid from Memphis, get behind the safety.
Yeah, that's a wild card. I'm glad you brought that up. Not a lot of people bringing up Austin. He's not getting the ball a lot. He's our Turpin. They throw him the ball 1 or 2 times or targets a game. He only got like 8 targets, I think, on the season. But he has a 55-yard touchdown where he caught it middle of the field and took off. Don't let him do that. He's the kind of quiet X factor on their offense. If you forget about him, next thing you know, he's behind your secondary. But they don't target him a whole lot. Just don't let that one reception take it to the crib.
And the Cowboys, they got we got the quarterback. We just need to play caller. If we had a good play caller, the quarterback would be even more dangerous.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
man.
a given right there, brother. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the defense, I think they're going to do good because I saw a film with Akoya. He was showing number 90 and our boy number 11. They were breakdowns. They wasn't standing their schemes. They was really talking about themselves. They was the one playing out a scheme.
You talking about the Ravens game?
Ravens and the New Orleans game. I'm like, man, number 90 and number 11, what you doing?
Nah, I disagree. We had this conversation after week 3. I don't really want to go back to it, but that's my guy. I disagree with the Ravens game. They were playing a specific scheme, and he even admitted to it on Twitter when he was talking to John. Like, hey, we crossed wires there. You got it, my guy. For the Ravens game, they were playing a specific scheme. That's why you heard both of them saying, hey, do your job, because guys behind them weren't doing their job. They were doing their job most of that game. Now, that Saints game, it was from top to bottom just a disaster. I just think you just flat out just got your ass whooped. I think you got your ass whooped. I think in the Ravens game, you got out schemed, and then when what you were asking them to do, not everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go back down that rabbit hole. That was a rough game to watch.
But it's like you say, we just got to play sound football. Don't be trying to play hero ball. And you got a chance to win. Number 4, he's going to keep you in the game, but you got to make sure our offensive coordinator don't call him Kellen Moore plays, man. Please.
I mean, I've seen people say they would rather have Kellen Moore back here. I mean, sometimes I'll be looking at
man, get out of here.
Sometimes I'll be like,
Kellen Moore.
I don't want Kellen Moore either. I don't want Kellen Moore either, but I mean, at least the dude has some creativity. But go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
Yeah. Them option routes, no.
No, the option route's no good. No bueno, no.
But McCarthy got to get his head out of his butt and start play calling, man. He making us look bad. Everybody on TV, I'm like, oh, it's like a candy store. All the other offenses is creative. The Cowboys.
In closing, Mark. Yeah, you just said that. You just said that one. In closing, Mark.
In closing, I just hope he coach good. And how about them Cowboys?
Give me your score for Sunday.
Okay. Can I give you 2?
Sure. That's fine. Whatever you want to do.
Okay. If he coach good, call the right plays, use his receivers with their speed, 24-13.
Cowboys?
If he don't.
So that's Cowboys. Yeah. Okay.
That's Cowboys. If he call dumb, boring plays, we can end up losing 20-16.
Okay. All right, everybody that's giving scores today, it's been around that ballpark. Appreciate you, Maserati.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, Salute. Yeah, it seems like most of y'all are in agreement here. Before we get up out of here, I got a couple minutes. Drop your score predictions in the chat because on Sundays it's hard to really talk to y'all, in the chat because me and Jesse are going off. So this would be the chance to kind of see what you got here. Give me your predictions for Sunday, Cowboys Nation. Cowboys versus the Steelers, Sunday Night Football. First time they've been there in 8 years. Last time they were there, though, it was a barn burner. Ben Roethlisberger. I was back watching that game, man. Just Le'Veon Bell. The way they were using Le'Veon Bell in the pass game. I mean, he was always like that in the pass game. Man, that was a good era of football. Good time. I shouldn't call it an era. Good year of football. 28-23, says Sir Lawrence. Dallas. 24-10, says Toxic Pittsburgh. I don't see Mike changing a damn thing. Yeah, 27-14, Dallas is Nelson. 24-16, Dre. Got the Cowboys. Julius got the boys 22-17. A lot of y'all seem to be right in that ballpark of low 20s and teens type of game. 17-13, Pitt, says Fish. Fish 82. Let me see. Make sure I say that. D Park 702. Where'd you go? 22-17 boys. Betsy got 27-21. Manny 23-20. Drummer Cam 27-14 Pitt. 27-13 Dallas T-Jack. Aubrey got 3 field goals, so that means we score what? 24, 21, 18 points? Huh? 27. I got you already, T-Jack. Q Taylor, 24-21. Dwight got 26-14. Yeah, the Steelers shouldn't score a lot of points. They shouldn't score a lot of points. As much as I want to be like, you should, outside of week 1, and really not even week 1, you haven't yet. You haven't scored 3 offensive touchdowns in a game yet. I hate that. But let me see something real quick. Steelers 18, 13, 20, and 24 points this year. Yeah, dog. You shouldn't be letting them score a bunch of points. Shouldn't be letting them score a bunch of points. What are you, pastor of Muppets? Interesting name. The pie has 53 $5 million slices with one tape. What you talking about, Pastor? Are you in here? Are you on your Catboy stuff in here? Oh gosh, they got you too. Can we just stop with the Cap stuff? Stephen Jones, every time they ask him about it, it don't even got to be about nothing crazy. Just, hey, Stephen, how you feel about the game this week? Well, we got to worry about paying Micah Parsons and the salary cap and cap to the point where you got these fans thinking that Cap is holding you back from doing what you want to do. Y'all are brainwashed. If you come in here talking about cap this, cap that, when there's so much evidence out there in the National Football League to tell you that is an excuse. An excuse when it comes to doing what you want to do and getting who you want to get. You don't got to go out here, and again, I'm going into offseason talk, and sign a bunch of A1 tier 1 guys. That's not realistic or sustainable. But you got to come up out your shell and stop being scared and blaming the salary cap for being conservative when it comes to aggressiveness in the offseason or during the season. The Cowboys aren't, and they're utilizing the cap as a weapon to brainwash you guys. You can be brainwashed if you want. The evidence is there. Stop allowing them to brainwash you. They're not an aggressive franchise. Not because of the salary cap, because they're scared to be so. They're allowing the cap to be used as a weapon, and these damn fans coming here screaming cap this, cap that. You're doing their work. You're doing their work. Maybe if you sign your quarterback and your wide receiver earlier, you'd have money to use to go get other guys. Maybe don't waste money on a running back with a broken ankle, on a tight end who is mid at best. Just $20 million in salary cap you could have used. Maybe don't sign a wide receiver off of an ACL or a right tackle off of an ACL. But no, you want to blame it on a guy that's taking up, what'd you say, 26 mil? Come on, stop it. Stop it. You got a team in your division paying 17 million people a bunch of money. You got teams in the other conference doing the same damn thing and getting the Super Bowls, winning the Super Bowls, or being more competitive you in the postseason. Salary cap. You're brainwashed. It ain't got to do with paying your top best player money. You had a bunch of money that you poured into poorest players. I say poorest. That's a little bit harsh and disrespectful, just to me getting a bit frustrated. But you don't pay a running back off of a broken ankle. You don't pay a running back, period. But you don't pay a running back off a broken ankle. You don't pay a tight end. You don't pay an ACL wide receiver who ain't even like that in general. You paid the right tackle. He my cousin, but I mean, you played him off of a ACL. Why? I don't know. Hey, maybe don't extend Malik Hooker for no damn reason when you got 2 young bucks there. But salary cap. Dak Prescott, your fault. Give me a break. I digress, Cowboys Nation. That got me fired up a little bit. On your way out, hit that like button, man. I won't see you guys till Sunday. Me and Jesse, Game Day Live. We'll be back at Canvas. Again, if you're coming through, we will be in the patio, downstairs, outside on the patio. Different vibe, different energy there, but the same type of energy that we're going to bring every single Sunday. With that said, press this button.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
Cactus Jack. Hey, that's the new one. I don't care about Catboy no more. Cactus Jack is crazy. Who said that? Who called him Cactus Jack? Man, that's facts, Willie T. Salary cap is a distraction used to keep fans from seeing that the Joneses don't know what the hell they doing. We out of here. Address. Let me get it for you real quick. Type in Canvas Sports and Social, Deep Element. 2823 Main Street.